Hi, Judy with an I. How are you? I heard you were waiting for me. I'm here. Okay, everybody make sure you're in live chat. A lot of stuff going on today. We've got a lot of stuff in the news, and we've got a lot of new developments here on Mommy Ramblings blog and True Crime Chat with Mommy Ramblings. So I just want to tell you, did everybody see the community post? Because we have some really exciting news on there. And after True Crime, I'll read you the first part of our series. Okay? So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, just wait, and I'll read it with you after. If you already have, then you'll hear it again. The other thing that we have going on is that, what was our other thing? We had other news. Oh, our friends at Truth Brigade dropped a video. I don't know if Truth Brigade is here tonight. Everybody thinks it's me. Let me put my hands up in the air. Truth Brigade, I don't know if you're here. If you are, congrats on the new video. It was very good. You might want to check that out. Now, there's also news about Bryan Kohberger that we're going to check out. And there's Harmony Montgomery stuff that's been released. Also, new stuff on that horrific case of the father that shot his 3 boys. Now, I've heard 2 different things, okay? They had a friend of the daughter's, the stepdaughter, that she's going into 9th grade. And she said her friend of hers that arranged a GoFundMe. So there's like 2 different GoFundMes. One is arranged by the, hi Mary Warren, hi everybody, by the sister of the mother of the boys. And the other one is arranged by the friend of the daughter, the stepdaughter. And she said she spent lots of time with these people, slept over the house, and never noticed anything about this guy. But now they're saying that he was a ticking time bomb. He was ready to go off. He had a horrific temper. We know that there was a situation with his father and choking his father, something that happened back, I think it was 2010. So we're going to look into that. We're also going to look into this Idaho family of 4 allegedly killed by their neighbor, I believe is 32 years old. So we got all that on tap for tonight. And then plus I'm going to give you your first reading of that story. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I'll talk to you more about that later. But a lot of people have told me, Carolyn, you should write a book because you've been through so much on YouTube. And I think sometimes you make lemonade from lemons, right? And it's been a great, great outlet for me. When people lie and they try to trash me, I'll just go there and I just write and I feel so great. All right, so let me go get let's get us started with our true crime so we can, and then don't forget, we're going to, at the very end, we're going to play our word game because everybody loves that.
Oh, yeah.
Our real estate game, maybe.
Maybe.
Too.
Maybe we're looking for a new beach house. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's Bryan Kohberger, and we're going to look at some grand jury docs. So the prosecution filing in the Idaho court last week offers the first confirmation that detectives found a statistical match between the DNA of Bryan Kohberger and the DNA that was found on the knife sheath that was left next to the girls' bodies upstairs. The motion from the prosecutor Bill Thompson and the special assistant Attorney General Jeff Nye is part of the series of back and forth filings between the prosecutors and Kohberger's defense team as they wrangled over the materials that can be handed over to the defense from the grand jury that indicted Kohberger last month. Let's see here. Get this. Hang on. So the father of the individual who left the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath, pursuant to search warrant, law enforcement then collected DNA from the defendant via a buccal swab. A traditional STR DNA comparison was done between the STR profile found on the K-bar knife sheath and the defendant's DNA. The comparison showed a statistical match, but we've known that all along. So I don't know why they think like this is just because it's in that filing that they think, okay, oh my gosh, it's, crazy. But let me get the full documentation on this and we'll take a look at it. Okay. Pull this over. So it comes now, State of Idaho, through the Loudoun County Prosecuting Attorney, that respectfully moves the court for a protective order pursuant for the information related to the investigative genetic genealogy. This case arises from a quadruple homicide. Law enforcement found the DNA of a potential suspect at the crime scene, and the FBI submitted the DNA to one or more publicly available genetic genealogy services to determine potential relatives of the suspect. The FBI then used genealogical techniques to develop a family tree leading to the defendant. The state seeks to protect from disclosure the names and personal information of the hundreds of innocent relatives on the family tree, the names of publicly available genetic genealogy services used, and certain motion for protective order. Other information described below. The disclosure of this information is not required by Rule 16 of the Idaho Criminal Rules and should be protected from disclosure for the good cause described below, including the state's privilege to protect the identity of informers as described in the Idaho Rule of Evidence 509. Okay, this is the factual background. November 13th, 2022, law enforcement found the bodies of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Zainer Coronado, and Ethan Chapin at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. All 4 victims died from apparent knife wounds. Law enforcement found a K-bar knife sheath on the bed next to the bodies of Madison and Kaylee. The sheath was face down and partially under both Madison's body and the comforter of the bed. Law enforcement seized the K-bar knife sheath pursuant to a search warrant. The Idaho State Police Lab in Meridian, Idaho, located DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. The ISP laboratory determined the DNA came from a single source and that the source was male. Once law enforcement had single source DNA from the K-bar knife sheath, they conducted what they call a short tandem repeat, STR, short tandem repeat, analysis. STR DNA analysis involves looking at 20 regions within human DNA and allows law enforcement to make a direct comparison between 2 STR DNA profiles. Law enforcement submitted the STR DNA profile obtained from the K-bar knife sheath to the Combined DNA Index System, CODIS, a database of STR DNA profiles from convicted offenders, arrestees, and crime scene evidence to identify the source of the DNA, and no match was found. Unable to find a match using STR DNA analysis, law enforcement decided to use investigative genetic genealogy to find a lead. Genetic genealogy allows individuals to trace their lineage or connect with unknown family members using DNA. Typically, it involves sending a DNA sample, like 23andMe and one of those, such as a tube of saliva, to a genetic genealogy service like Ancestry.com or 23andMe. The genetic genealogy service then creates a single nucleotide polymorphism, SNP, profile to use for genealogical purposes. An SNP profile is different than STR DNA profile, and it's used more often for genealogical purposes. The genetic genealogy service then uses an algorithm to compare the user's SNP profile to SNP profiles submitted to the genetic genealogy service by other users to determine the ancestry and potential relatives. This is your favorite case, Elle.
I know.
How are you yawning? Okay.
I am not yawning.
Oh, I thought that was you. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay. The genetic genealogy service then uses an algorithm to compare the user's SNP profile to SNP profiles submitted to the genetic genealogy service by other users to determine ancestry and potential relatives. The genetic genealogy service shares with the user a list of potential relatives, and depending on the specific genetic genealogy service, personally identifying information on those individuals, like their name, their email, and the amount of DNA the user shares with the potential relatives. The user did not receive any genetic information pertaining to other databases. Users' DNA profiles are not shared with each other. The same process used frequently by members of the public can also be used by law enforcement as part of their investigation. A technique referred to as investigative genetic genealogy, or IgG, once a publicly available genetic genealogy service shows law enforcement potential relatives of the suspect, law enforcement applies traditional investigative genealogy methods to build a family tree in an effort to follow the tree to the suspect of a close relative of the suspect. Family trees can be used to narrow down a potential suspect based on factors such as age, gender, opportunity, known physical characteristics of the suspect, etc. In this case, investigators used IgG to begin the process of developing a lead to the individual who left the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. The Idaho State Police utilized a private laboratory to develop an SNP profile from the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. The private laboratory started using genetic genealogy to develop a family tree, but after law enforcement decided the FBI would take over, the private laboratory ceased its efforts and sent the SNP profile to the FBI. The FBI uploaded the SNP profile to one or more publicly available genetic genealogy services to identify possible family members of the suspect based on shared genetic data. The FBI could then view the genetic genealogy services portal information regarding potential relatives of the suspect who left the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. Based on information the FBI could see in the genetic genealogy service portal, the FBI went to work building family trees of the genetic relatives to the suspect DNA left at the crime scene in an attempt to identify the contributor of the unknown DNA. The FBI built a family tree using the same tools and methods used by members of the public who wished to learn more using the same about their ancestors. I know somebody that did that on their own. For examples, the FBI consulted social media, viewed vital records such as birth and death certificates, and viewed other information already contained in the user portal for the genetic genealogy service, including unverified information submitted by other users of the genetic genealogy service. The FBI also consulted subscription-based databases available to law enforcement for information on individual people. The product of the genealogy conducted by the FBI was a family tree that contained the name, birth date, and death date, if applicable, of hundreds of relatives, as well as familiar connections between each other and the suspect, Bryan C. Kohberger. The FBI then sent law enforcement a tip to investigate the defendant. The IgG processes pointed law enforcement towards defendant, but it did not provide law enforcement with substantive evidence of guilt. And the FBI did not, for example, conduct a direct comparison between the SNP profile from the K-bar knife sheath and defendant's SNP profile. The type of direct comparison required the more traditional STR DNA analysis, which was conducted by the Idaho State Police, not the FBI. Okay, so then prior to the FBI's IgG efforts, the ISP laboratory developed the traditional STR DNA profile from DNA found on the K-bar knife sheath. And after identification of the defendant, law enforcement recovered trash from the home of the defendant's parents, and the ISP laboratory did STR DNA analysis on items from the trash for comparison to the unknown crime scene DNA. That comparison indicated that DNA found on the trash belonged to the biological father of the individual who left the DNA on the K-bar knife sheath. Pursuant to a search warrant, law enforcement then collected DNA from the defendant via a buccal swab. A traditional STR DNA comparison was done between the STR profile found on the K-bar knife sheath and the defendant's DNA. The comparison showed a statistical match. Specifically, the STR profile is at least 5.37 octillion times more likely to be seen if the defendant is the source than if an unrelated individual randomly selected from the general population is the source. The genealogy conducted by the FBI resulted in the lead that pointed law enforcement to the defendant, but it did not result in the creation of many documents or records. Much of the information relied on by the FBI was only viewed through the user portal in the publicly available genetic genealogy service and other individual databases. The FBI did not download or create copies of those records. Once the defendant was in custody, the FBI removed the SNP profile from the genetic genealogy service Services pursuant to the United States Department of Justice Interim Policy for Forensic, Genetic, Genealogical, DNA Analysis, and Searching DOJ policy. That means FBI no longer had access to view much of the information it used to create the family tree and cannot view it again without resubmitting the SNP profile to the Genetic Genealogy Services. To the state's knowledge, the only records that reflect the FBI's efforts to create the defendant's family tree is the family tree itself. Notes jotted down by FBI agents as they constructed the family tree, and any records created to document the removal of the SNP profile from the Genetic Genealogy Services pursuant to the DOJ policy. The state has not seen, nor does the state possess these records or copies of these records. The argument. The state seeks a protective order for a narrow category of information, namely information related to the use of IgG in this case. Okay, so let's, as relevant here, we'll skip. This is just going over the rule. Here, the defendant served on the state's request for discovery that calls for the IgG information, even though the IgG information falls outside of Rule 16 without first obtaining an order from this court. The state now seeks that, and the court should enter an order protecting the information related to the use of the IgG in this case. Specifically, the state seeks to protect the following information. They want the raw data related to the SNP profile and the underlying laboratory documentation related to the development of the profile, such as a chain of custody forms, laboratory standard operating procedures, analyst notes, etc. All information related to IgG efforts in creating a family tree and identifying the defendant's potential relatives, including the identities of the Genetic Genealogy Service and the personally identifying information. The state wants to protect all that. The state does not seek to protect, or the defendant's relatives. The state does not seek to protect and has or will disclose the following information: a genotype kit report from a private lab utilized by Idaho State Police, which documents that a DNA test was performed, information related to the STR DNA analysis conducted by using the DNA recovered from the K-bar knife sheath and the DNA recovered from the defendant's parents' trash, and information related to the STR DNA analysis conducted using the DNA recovered from the K-bar knife sheath and the DNA recovered from the defendant via a buccal swab. The court should grant an order protecting the IgG information in this case because the IgG information does not fit any of the discrete categories in Rule 16, and good cause exists to protect this information, including the need to protect the privacy of the defendant's relatives. Rule 16 does not require the disclosure of IgG information because the IgG information is not exculpatory. So let's see. The rule requires the state to disclose any material or information in the prosecuting attorney's possession or control. That tends to negate the guilt of the accused as to the offense charged, or that would tend to reduce the punishment for the offense. As written, this rule largely mirrors the federal Brady requirement that the state produce to a criminal defendant all material exculpatory information. And they put statutes in there. Okay. While the question of whether IgG information must be disclosed as exculpatory is one of the first impressions in Idaho courts outside of Idaho, have correctly decided that IgG information need not be disclosed as exculpatory. Ruling on motion to compel production of discovery attached hereto as Exhibit A. And this is going to go over this stuff here about another case. We don't need to go into that. And let's go over here. Rule 16, because the IgG information the state seeks to protect is not favorable to the defendant on the issues of guilt or punishment. The information provided to local law enforcement by the FBI was nothing more than a tip, a lead for local law enforcement to follow up on, should they choose. The genealogical tip did not prove or substantiate defendant's guilt. Rather, the tip allowed law enforcement to focus their investigation on the defendant and obtain independent material evidence of his guilt, all of which the state has disclosed or will disclose, specifically with respect to DNA on an STR DNA analysis found the defendant's DNA matched the DNA collected from the K-bar knife sheath. To the extent the IgG information has any relevance, the fact that it led law enforcement to the defendant means it is inculpatory rather than exculpatory in nature. Thus, Rule 16 does not require the disclosure of IgG information because it's not relevant to and certainly not favorable to the defendant on the issue of guilt or punishment. And Rule 16b4 does not require the disclosure of the IgG information because IgG information does not satisfy any of the required criteria. So let's see here. The nature of the IgG information is such that its disclosure is not required under Rule 16b4. The rule requires the disclosure of books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, buildings, and places only when they 1. Are material to the preparation of the defense, or 2. Are intended for use by the prosecutor as evidence at trial, or 3. Were obtained from the defendant or belong to the defendant. ICR 16b4, the IgG information does not satisfy any of these criteria. First, the IgG information is not material to the preparation of the defense. Defendant is charged with killing 4 people, not with being related to a particular person. The mere fact that uploading the completed SNP profile into a publicly available genetic genealogy service led law enforcement to relatives of the defendant does not affect the strength of the evidence against him. The strength of the evidence against the defendant in terms of DNA evidence depends upon the confirmatory result from the STR DNA analysis between defendant's DNA profile and the DNA recovered from the K-bar knife sheath. As explained further below, the state intends to use the STR DNA analysis at trial and does not intend to enter any evidence pertaining to the development of an SNP profile or tree building process for inculpatory purposes. The state has disclosed or will disclose the information it has related to the STR DNA analysis conducted in connection with this case. The immateriality of the IgG information in the preparation of the defense is perhaps best understood by way of analogy. The tip came from the IgG process is no different than any types of technology hits that put law enforcement on a trail of a suspect. Okay, for example, I think go through this. We don't need to go through all of these. Moreover, the IgG information could not support an argument from the defendant that the law enforcement violated his Fourth Amendment rights by entering the DNA collected from the K-bar knife sheath into a genetic genealogy service. A defendant cannot prove a violation of the Fourth Amendment without first showing he or she had reasonable expectation of privacy in the place searched. The K-bar knife sheath was abandoned at the scene, as was the DNA inside it. The defendant cannot show that he had a reasonable expectation of privacy in DNA left at the scene of a quadruple homicide or in the genetic information of his relatives, who voluntarily provided their own DNA to a genetic genealogy service. Okay. Second, the state did not rely on the IgG information to establish probable cause for the defendant's arrest, did not present the IgG information to the grand jury, and has no plans to present the IgG information for which a protective order is sought as evidence at trial. Instead, the state has relied on and will continue to rely on STR DNA analysis comparing defendant's DNA to the DNA on the K-bar sheath to establish the defendant's guilt. Again, the state has disclosed or will disclose information related to STR DNA analysis conducted in connection with this case. Third, the documents and tangible objects are encompassed in the IgG. Okay, we're going to go through some of this because there is a lot of this. Idaho appellate courts have further explained that process district courts should use when faced with precisely this issue the need to protect both the state's interest in non-disclosure of the identity of its informers Okay. Conclusion. Let's take a look at this. Based on the above, the state respectfully prays for the court to enter an order protecting the IGG information from disclosure as it falls outside the purview of Rule 16. In the alternative, if the defense can establish the IGG information is in fact relevant, the state asks the court to conduct the requisite in-camera hearing for the state to present evidence related to the IGG information and then enter a protective order under ICR 16.1 that the ICG information is not subject to discovery and not be discarded by the state. Okay, that's submitted certificate of delivery. Here's the ruling. The motion of Michael Green to compel the people, let's see, having reviewed the moving, opposing, and supplemental papers on the motion and having heard oral argument, the court took the matter under submission into and now issues the following ruling. In genetic genealogy, a user normally looking to trace their lineage or connect with unknown family members sends in a DNA sample, such as saliva, to a direct-to-consumer genetic database service like Ancestry.com. These services provide the user with a genetic profile. The user will then upload the profile obtained from their chosen service to GED Match, a free open-source public aggregator that allows the user to match with people on different sites. Not only the particular service they initially chose, GED Match searches for sections of the user's chromosomes that match other users in the database and provides usernames and contact information for any genetic matches it finds, along with an estimation of how closely related the matches are. Law enforcement officers follow the same procedure in uploading DNA and GED Match as do regular users in the FGG investigation, but instead of submitting their own genetic profiles to GED Match, officers submit DNA recovered from an unidentified crime suspect or victim, often left at the crime scene. Okay. Get to this. He argues that he's entitled parties' connections between the crime source DNA and other people's DNA contained in the council supplement declaration. Okay, that's good. I thought that was the conclusion we were at, huh? This is ridiculous. Get to the ruling here. All right, let's see this now. As in the above cases, the evidence that is material to Green's guilt or innocence in the testing of the okay, this is this is all People versus Green. Okay, so this is the case that they did in 2020. So this is all to show what they want to be done with their case. This is the case that they showed here. And it'd be good to go through this case. I mean, not like in this thing, but to see what it was, because it sounds like there was I think it was a nightgown that had the DNA on it. But this is in regard to the Michael Green case. In the matter of Michael Green. I wonder what that case was about. We'll have to do that another time. He seems to think of himself as some kind of... Okay, so let me get to... Okay, so the defense attorney asked for all the materials from the grand jury. We knew that yesterday, and she says that Kohberger and his attorneys cannot determine whether to contest the indictment itself. The prosecutor, Thompson, argued that the defense is only allowed transcripts, audio recordings, and jurors' notes, and his motion for protective order filed on Friday seeks to preserve some of the investigative genetic genealogy work done by the FBI prior to Kohberger's arrest. The work, based on DNA from the knife sheath contains names of hundreds of innocent relatives on the family tree investigators created as they tried to track down a suspect and should be protected from release. Prosecutors explained the difference between the work and DNA work that was done by the Idaho State Police on the DNA found on the knife sheath and then taken directly from Bryan Kohberger via a buccal swab. State Police previously worked up a short tandem repeat STR analysis, and the FBI did not provide or conduct a direct comparison between SNP profile from the K-bar knife sheath and the defendant's SNP profile, according to the motion. The type of direct comparison required the more traditional STR DNA analysis, which was conducted by the Idaho State Police, not the FBI. Once investigators obtained Bryan Kohberger's DNA through the search warrant and the buccal swab, they handed those samples over to the state police to compare with the DNA found in the sheath. And the comparison shows a statistical match. Specifically, the STR profile is at least 5.37 octillion times more likely to be seen if the defendant is the source than an unrelated individual randomly selected from the general population is the source. All of that information was provided to show the court that the FBI's investigative genetic genealogy workup, while helped in the preliminaries, ultimately was not used to establish probable cause for Kohberger's arrest, was not presented to the grand jury, won't be presented as evidence at trial, and therefore shouldn't be part of the discovery. Okay? So, all of that to show the court that the FBI's investigative genetic genealogy work was helpful to them in preliminaries, but it was not used to establish probable cause to arrest Bryan Kohberger. It's not presented to the grand jury, and it's not going to be presented as evidence at the trial, so therefore doesn't need to be in the discovery, they say. So, long roundabout for that. And then let's go to this Idaho. This is really, I feel like I've seen this picture of these. I mean, besides today, I don't know. There's something very familiar about the two boys. But a 31-year-old Idaho man was in court Tuesday morning and was charged with the murders of 4 of his neighbors. Majorjan Kaler was also charged with 1 count of burglary. He was not given bond. The Shoshone County Coroner's Office identified the victims as, hold on, am I going to make this a little larger? My eyes are going on me. Kenneth Guardipe, 65, Kenna Guardipe, 41, Devin Smith, 18, and Aiken Smith, 16. The manner of and cause of death was homicide by gunshot. Investigators believed the incident happened after a dispute between neighbors. They didn't provide any information about the dispute. The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office responded to the multi-home building at 7:30 p.m. Sunday. 4 victims were dead. This is a tragic situation that will affect the Kellogg community. Detectives will continue working on this and establish a timeline on what led to the shooting, said the Idaho State Police Lieutenant Paul Berger. As this case will go through the judicial process, we are ensuring that every angle is covered with a thorough investigation. The Mountain Valley of Cascadia Nursing Home and Rehabilitation was just steps away from the scene, and one of the victims was an employee there. On her Facebook page, Kenna Guardipe identified herself as the cook at the facility. So let's look at this under another. Let me go over here. Why is my thing all messed up? Okay. Okay. let's look at this. Okay, so here's the man who's the suspect in this. I don't know why he would do this. It's crazy. Northern Idaho man is now charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and burglary after prosecutors say he went to a neighbor's house and shot and killed the family there. The family had 2 teenagers. Majorjan Kaler, 31 of Kellogg, was arrested Sunday night shortly after the shooting in the small mining community. 4 members of the family were killed: Kenneth, 65, his daughter Kenna Guardapi, 41, and her sons, 18-year-old Devin Smith and 16-year-old Aiken Smith. The family lived in the same multi-home building as Kaler. If convicted, Kaler could face the death penalty. He's being held without bond and has not yet entered a plea. There's been very few details that have been released about the shooting, and authorities have not said whether they believe Kaler's motive and what Kaler's motive would have been. There's been a recent conflict between the families. A week before the shooting, the Kaler family called police to complain that 18-year-old Devin Smith was standing in front of his bedroom window, pleasuring himself in view of Kaler's young daughters who were playing outside. Smith's family lived in the bottom unit of a duplex, and Kaler family lived in the top unit. We responded to the call, investigated the call, and the report was done that day and submitted to the prosecutor's office for charges. I stand by what my officers did, and he did everything he could at the time. Nobody could have foreseen anything like this. The police department recommended that Smith be charged with indecent exposure and misdemeanor. The prosecutor's office told the officer that the charge would be filed. There was no record of the charge in the online court system Tuesday, however, which could mean that Smith had not yet been served with the formal charges before he died, or that the case had not yet been made public for another reason. During Kaler's initial court appearance, prosecuting attorney Benjamin Allen said the crime was relatively horrific and noted that one of the victims was a child. He also said that Kaler admitted to the killings when he was interviewed by police. His admissions were ultimately made to the offenses charged, Allen told the Shoshone County Magistrate Judge Keisha Oxendine during Tuesday's court proceeding. We see a crime which has been committed in a relatively horrific manner in regards to the nature of the allegations, the manner in which it was carried out, and the method in which it was utilized by the defendant in the course of his actions. The Shoshone County Dispatch received a call to 911 at about 7:20 p.m. indicating that multiple people had been killed. Law enforcement officers found 4 people dead of gunshot wounds, and they detained Kaler. This is a tragic situation that will affect the entire Kellogg community. Detectives continue working to establish a timeline and what led to the shooting. Lieutenant Paul Berger, a detective with the Idaho State Police, said in a state news release on Monday. Charging documents allege the shootings of the 2 oldest victims were premeditated and they were done to execute vengeance. The other killings were allegedly premeditated to execute vengeance, and or committed in the preparation of a burglary. According to the charging documents, under Idaho law, it is considered burglary to enter a home, room, or apartment with the intent to commit a felony, such as murder. A preliminary hearing in the case has been set for July 3rd. Okay, and now, hold on, I'm going to go to the dad, and then we have Harmony Montgomery, so... Okay. Okay, so let's see. prosecutors say Chad Doerman, 32, lined up his 3 boys, 3, 4, and 7, shot them with a rifle. We know this is horrific. One of the boys ran away. He got him, brought him back, shot him. The mother was there. She got shot in the hand. Stepdaughter was able to get away and run down the street screaming. His dad tried to speak, said he's not allowed to speak to his son, but he said he just snapped. I could tell in his eyes he's hollow inside. That wasn't Chad standing at the arraignment. That was not him. Doerman allegedly also shot the children's mother, as she tried to stop the murders. The 3 boys were found dead in the yard while Doerman was sitting next to the rifle on the porch. He had no shoes on, just socks. Doerman was charged in 2010 with choking his father, but a judge dismissed the case. Doerman's father told the news outlet the incident was a misunderstanding, and he described his jailed son as a fun-loving guy and a super dad. Doerman's bond was set at $20 million, and he's due back in court June 26th. Let me get that.
Is your back hurting?
No.
Huh?
No. Why?
The way you were touching it.
Oh, I always do that. Let me see. Now see, what I was saying about his temper is the daughter's friend said, no, she didn't notice anything. But Richard Kincannon said that Chad Doerman had a temper. He was yelling all the time, and he treated his wife like shite. So there's 2 different things going around. But this one, let's see what he said. And there was another, he was angry every day, said Richard Kincannon. There wasn't a day he didn't yell at his wife and kids out there. He said that Chad had a temper, yelling all the time, treating his wife and kids like shite. He said over the weekend, he has no exact explanation for what happened, saying, oh, his father said his son just snapped. So the neighbor's saying he's yelling all the time. And then you have the daughter's friends saying, no, I don't notice anything. And the father's saying he just snapped. Court documents say that Chad confessed to planning and carrying out the deaths of the victims involved for several months. Prosecutors say all 3 children were shot execution style. They were all pronounced dead at the scene after the Claremont County Sheriff's Office said all life-saving measures were unsuccessful. Kincannon said that every time he looks at the house, he sees the scene directly after the shooting, the 3 children laying lifeless in the yard. He said he struggled to eat and sleep since the murders. I still see the babies. That's all I see when I come out here. That's why I like to focus on that memorial. Doerman's due back in court June 26th. Kincannon says he hopes he never sees daylight again. So we have that. And where were we?
Oh, Rich had a milestone thingy. Just telling you.
Well, I think there were 2 things that I heard. Rich is back?
Yeah.
Is that our Rich from Las Vegas? Hey, Rich Guillon. Good. Because I hadn't seen you in like 2 weeks. I saw a comment you made and I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. Carolyn, I'm a 3-month-old baby. You're a 3-month-old baby. Hey, thank you for being a 3-month-old member with us. Hi, Sinrisa. How old was who? Sinrisa? The neighbor that shot the family, 31. If that's who you're talking about. This guy, Chad, I believe he was 31 or 32 as well. 31, I think he is. Isn't he 31? Yeah. Let me see. I'll tell you for sure if you're asking me. The other guy, Majorjan Kaler, 31, that shot the family of 4. And then this guy right here, he is, I believe he's 32, isn't he? Let me see. He is, yeah, I believe he is 32. And his wife is, I think she's a little older. She might be 35. Okay. Let's see, now we're going to go to poor Harmony Montgomery.
Oh, this is heartbreaking. Oh. I'm going to mute, sorry.
Okay, sorry. So let's see. Court documents were released today. They painted a really disturbing picture of this missing little New Hampshire girl. She vanished in December of 2019. So the probable cause statement. Let's see. So let's pull this over here. Let's see. Now comes the state of New Hampshire by and through the attorneys of the Office of the Attorney General. Detective John Dunleavy of the Manchester Police Department is applying for an arrest warrant for Adam Montgomery for the murder of his then 5-year-old daughter, Harmony Montgomery, in December of 2019 and other related charges. While the investigation into the murder of Harmony Montgomery has been extensive, the investigation remains ongoing. There are additional witnesses who remain to be interviewed, and based on the information they provide, there may be further investigative steps to take. In addition, once the new charges become public, additional witnesses may come forward who have been previously holding back. If the information in the probable cause statement is made public at the current time, it could then taint the future investigative efforts. The New Hampshire Supreme Court has recognized that protecting the confidentiality of investigative documents in the pre-indictment phase of an ongoing criminal investigation is a sufficiently compelling interest for non-disclosure that can overcome the public. So this is, I've held the rank. The information based below is known to me personally through my own investigation and through my communications with other law enforcement officers. I reviewed police reports prepared by other law enforcement officers, including Manchester police officers, detailing their involvement in this investigation. On 11/18/2021, the Manchester Police Department received a call from a woman. The woman was Crystal Sorey, date of birth 9/14/1990, regarding her biological daughter, Harmony Montgomery, who was born on June 7, 2014. Sorey reported that Harmony, who was in the physical custody of Sorey's ex, was missing. She hadn't seen Harmony in over 6 months. Sorey identified her ex as Adam Michael Montgomery, who was born January 22, 1990. An employee of the Manchester Police Department contacted DCYF and learned of previous addresses associated with Adam. Manchester police officers checked those addresses but were unable to locate Adam or Harmony. On December 27, 2021, DCYF notified the Manchester Police Department that they were also unable to locate Harmony. Consequently, the Manchester Police Department initiated an investigation into the whereabouts of Harmony. Over the following days, members of the Manchester Police Department learned that Harmony had not been physically seen since approximately October or November of 2019. Sorey, who resides in Massachusetts, notified authorities she hadn't seen Harmony since around Easter of 2019. The child had been in the physical custody and legal custody of her biological father, Adam Montgomery, pursuant to a decision and order from the Lawrence Juvenile Court. The case was subsequently assigned to me. During my follow-up with Crystal, she explained that she lost custody of the child in July of 2018 to the state of Massachusetts, in part due to a substance abuse issue. She said that both she and Adam had past issues with substance abuse. Crystal reported that since then, she has regained sobriety and unsuccessfully made attempts throughout 2021 to locate Adam and Harmony. Adam and his subsequent partner, Kayla Montgomery, also born in 1990, had blocked all communication with Crystal through phone numbers and social media applications. Crystal said over the years she made attempts to locate Harmony by contacting various schools, driving by addresses associated with Adam, but she was unable to make any progress. Crystal said that she believed she last saw Harmony physically during a FaceTime video call with Adam around Easter of 2019. Crystal stated that Adam was visible in the background of the video call. Crystal recalled that Harmony seemed frightened. Beginning on December 27th of 2021, members of the Manchester Police Department actively made attempts to track down Adam to talk to involved family members to establish the last time Harmony was physically observed and located and location known to be safe. Officers and investigators were initially unable to make contact with Adam via phone. However, investigators were able to make contact with various family members, including parties associated with Adam who reside in Florida. Through these family members, investigators received information that Adam had previously admitted to giving Harmony a black eye in July of 2019. The first interview with Kayla Montgomery is this. On December 28, 2021, I spoke with Adam's wife, Kayla Montgomery. Kayla shares 3 younger children with Adam who are all present and accounted for. During my follow-up with Kayla, I asked her about the last time she had physically seen Harmony. Kayla said that sometime in November or December of 2019, she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said that he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, who was living in Massachusetts at the time. Kayla said she believed Harmony had been returned to Crystal. Kayla claimed she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Kayla had not physically seen Adam since late October 2021, and had not spoken with him since about mid-November 2021. Kayla claimed Adam was living in a sober house and had then left the area to live in Maine with another female. On December 31st, 2021, patrol officers were able to make contact with Adam and his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, together sleeping in a vehicle in the area of Harville Street in Manchester. Investigators, including myself, Detective Kozowik, and Detective Riley, responded to that location to speak with the couple. Small claimed that she had been romantically involved with Adam for over a year. She said she was unaware that Adam had 3 children from one mother, and that she's aware Adam has 3 children with one mother and another child from before that. However, she said that Adam was not in touch with any child from his prior relationships. She claimed that Adam had never talked about Harmony, and she had no information on where she might be. During our interaction with Adam, we stressed our concern that Harmony had not been physically observed in over 2 years and that we had concerns for whether or not she was still alive. Adam did not exhibit much emotion or reaction to this. On the same date, December 31st, 2021, Kayla Montgomery participated in a voluntary interview with Detective Riley and myself. During this interview, she spoke about the last time she saw Harmony. In the interview, she told us 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/30 2019, Adam had taken her to work, which she said was 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift at Dunkin' Donuts on Eddy Road in Manchester. She said that while Adam was dropping her off, he said he was bringing Harmony to Harmony's mom's, and he was going to meet Harmony's mom and bring Harmony to stay with her. Kayla said that later that day, Adam picked her up and no longer had Harmony. He said he had just dropped Harmony off with Kayla, and she assumed Adam had dropped Harmony off in Massachusetts, as it's where Crystal was living at the time. Detectives were concerned about Kayla's account that Adam claimed he was bringing Harmony to Crystal, especially because Crystal outright denied ever taking custody of Harmony from Adam at the time or ever seeing Harmony following the video chat in April of 2019. The investigation revealed that in 2019, Crystal lived at 39 Chapel Street in Lowell, Mass, with her boyfriend, Joseph Eckert. Joseph was interviewed, and he was confirmed that he lived with Crystal in 2019. And Harmony was not with Crystal at all from 2019 October to present. In fact, Joseph stated that he has never met Harmony in person, and a review of DCYF involvements indicated social workers have not viewed Harmony since 10/1/2019 during a home visit with Adam Montgomery in New Hampshire. Not only have family members not seen Harmony since 2019. DCYF contacted the Manchester School District and found out Harmony wasn't even registered in the district. On December 31st, the Ninth Circuit Family Division, Manchester, granted protective supervision of Harmony to DCYF from Adam via juvenile abuse, neglect, ex parte order. At the time of the order, Adam had been Harmony's sole custodian. The order stated specifically that Adam was ordered to cooperate with the Manchester Police Department and assist with locating Harmony. Detective Riley served Adam with that order on the afternoon of 12/31/2021 at approximately 4:10. Adam refused to provide any information on the whereabouts of Harmony, which handed the order by detectives, and told them that he had to provide information on Harmony's whereabouts. Adam said, either arrest me or I'm leaving, and refused to answer any questions. Adam was arrested on charges related to Harmony on January 4th of 2022 and was formally charged and arraigned on January 5th of 2022. These charges consist of second-degree assault for an incident in July of 2019, in reference with custody, and 2 charges of interference with custody, and 2 charges of endangering the welfare of a child. He had been detained at the Hillsborough County House of Corrections. Kayla testified before the grand jury as part of the grand jury's investigation into the disappearance of Harmony. Kayla was under oath. During her testimony, she was asked about the last time she saw Harmony, and she stated in sum that it was 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/30/2019, when Adam dropped her off to work, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift at Dunkin' Donuts in Goffstown. Harmony was in the car, and Adam said he was bringing Harmony to Harmony's mother's. When Adam picked Kayla up a little after 2 p.m., Harmony was no longer with Adam, and she never saw Harmony after that time, and she didn't know what happened to Harmony. Investigators researched Kayla's claim about the location and the shift she was working 2 days after Thanksgiving, which was 11/30/2019. All Dunkin' Donuts locations in Goffstown confirmed that Kayla was not working there on November 30th, 2019. Records obtained from New Hampshire Employment Security showed that the only employer who paid Kayla in 2019 was a Dunkin' Donuts in Hooksett, New Hampshire. And that Dunkin' Donuts store confirmed that Kayla was fired from that location on 11/23. As a result, an arrest warrant was obtained for Kayla for 2 charges of perjury. Kayla was arrested on the perjury charges 6/3/2022. On that same day, Kayla participated in the proffer interview at Manchester Police Department. Her attorney was... Lost my whole place on that. Okay. Sorry about that. As a perjury. Kayla was arrested on the perjury charges on June 3rd of 2022. On the same day, Kayla participated in a proffer interview at Manchester Police Department. Her attorney was present for the interview. So her first interview, during the interview, Kayla admitted she lied during the grand jury testimony. She stated that she had information related to Harmony. Kayla stated that the family, herself, Adam, Harmony, SM, and DM, were evicted from where they were living on Guilford Street in Manchester the day before Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/27/2019. Kayla said after they were living in their vehicle, which is a Chrysler Sebring, during their time living out of the vehicle, they stayed in the parking lot of the Colonial Village on River Road in Manchester, where their friend Anthony Bodero, who was born in 1973, lived. Kayla stated that from Thanksgiving up until the beginning of December, Bodero saw Harmony and the other 2 boys and would wave at them. Hi. She also said that Bodero brought them Thanksgiving leftovers while they were in Sebring, and that he said Harmony at the time, he saw Harmony at the time, and Harmony waved at each other. Kayla stated that on the day the Chrysler Sebring broke down, known as December 7th, 2019, as discussed in further detail below, Adam Montgomery struck Harmony, which caused her death. Kayla stated that while living in the vehicle together, Adam was extremely upset that 5-year-old Harmony was saying she needed to go to the bathroom and was having accidents in the car. Kayla stated that after each accident, Adam would get upset and he would strike Harmony in the face or head with a closed fist. Kayla stated that on December 7, 2019, prior to the vehicle breaking down, Adam struck Harmony in the face, head on 3 separate occasions because she had a bathroom accident. This happened while Adam was driving the vehicle. Kayla described that Harmony was in the rear seat of the passenger side, and while Adam was driving, he turned his body and he delivered a set of 3 to 4 blows with a closed fist to Harmony's face, head on 3 separate occasions over the course of a few minutes. Kayla stated that after the final blow, Adam said words to the effect of that he felt something or heard something when he hit Harmony, and I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something. Harmony began making a moaning type noise, which went on for roughly 5 minutes and then stopped. At no time did anyone stop or get Harmony medical attention as the result of this assault. Kayla said this happened in the morning while the family was on their way to Burger King on Route 3 in Manchester, and afterwards the family returned to the parking lot of Colonial Village Apartments. The family stayed at Colonial Village for approximately 20 minutes, during which time no one checked on Harmony. Kayla could not recall exactly what they did during this 20-minute time period. Kayla said that after approximately 20 minutes, the family left Colonial Village Apartments, and shortly thereafter their car broke down. Kayla said she thought the car died approximately 8 or 9 a.m. According to Manchester Police Department records, the car was broken down at the intersection of Elm Street and Webster Street at approximately 12:11 p.m. on December 7th, 2019. Kayla said it was at that time that she and Adam discovered that Harmony was not breathing and was deceased. So they went to Burger King. They got lunch and stuff, ate it, didn't even check on her. Are you kidding me? They said they were on their way to the Burger King. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's crazy. They were on their way to the Burger King. Okay, great. Let's see. Harmony was not breathing and was deceased. Kayla stated that Adam went to the trunk of the vehicle. He removed clothing from a black and red Under Armour duffel bag. He placed the lifeless body of Harmony into the bag. Kayla stated at no point did either of them have any conversation about getting any type of life-saving measures for Harmony, and then Adam simply put Harmony's dead body into the bag and walked it back to the parking lot of the Colonial Village Apartments. Kayla indicated that once back at the Colonial Village, Bodero drove them from the apartment complex back to their vehicle to collect their belongings before the vehicle was towed. Kayla said that Bodero then allowed them to stay in his Audi, parked in the parking lot, for 2 to 3 days over the weekend. Kayla stated the night they were staying at Bodero's Audi after Harmony's death that Adam was keeping the bag with Harmony's body inside the trunk of the vehicle, but also would leave it out in the snow to stop the decomposition of the body from happening. On March 21st, Anthony Bodero testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County, Northern District, as part of the grand jury investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. During testimony, Bodero stated that after the Montgomery family was evicted, he allowed them to stay in his car in Audi for 2 days. He said he believed it was the weekend immediately after Thanksgiving, which would have been approximately 11:30 and 12:01, and he testified that he brought Thanksgiving leftovers to the car for them to eat. Bodero testified that he did not see Harmony in the Audi, that it was only Adam, Kayla, and the 2 younger boys, SM and DM. Bodero testified that he never bothered to ask where Harmony was. Bodero testified that the only that the only time he ever saw Harmony was back on August and September 2019. Bodero testified that when the Montgomerys left the Audi after 2 days that they stayed there, he believed Kayla said she was going to her mother's. In the grand jury testimony, Bodero testified that he only let the Montgomery family stay in his Audi for 2 days, but he was not aware whether Montgomery family was possibly living in a different car or parking lot to his apartment building for additional days. Bodero stated that he could have just stayed in their own car, the Chrysler Sebring, before it got messed up. Bodero explained that he was aware that after the Montgomerys got evicted, they had a gray Chrysler, but they didn't have the car anymore when they arrived to stay in his Audi. He said that when they arrived to stay in the Audi, they were dropped off by some friend of theirs who was a girl, and they didn't have anything other than 2 boys and formula for the baby and diapers. Bodero said they didn't have anything else, not even bags of clothes. Bodero's girlfriend, Donna Demers, also testified before the grand jury. She testified about the Thanksgiving leftovers being fresh, and she believed Bodero gave them to the Montgomerys either on Thanksgiving Day or the next day. She testified that she had a brief opportunity to look inside the car the Montgomerys were in, which she said was Bodero's car, the Audi, and that she only saw 2 younger children in the car, not Harmony. Demers was confident that Harmony was not in the car. Anthony Bodero's interview was conducted with Anthony Bodero. Also present was the Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill. Detective Max, hold on a second, this thing keeps jumping. Max Rayhill, deputies Tufts of the U.S. Marshals, Bodero's attorney Ashley Sheehan, and myself. Bodero indicated that he had met Adam Montgomery through Kayla in 2019. He admitted that he did provide crack and fentanyl to the Montgomerys. Bodero stated that he would buy the Montgomerys food stamps off them prior to them staying in his vehicle, and after they stayed in his vehicle, Bodero stated that after Thanksgiving 2019, the Montgomerys came to him with just their 2 boys and no Harmony, and asked if they could stay with him due to them being evicted and their car breaking down. Bodero did not recall how the Montgomerys arrived at his home. Bodero stated that they arrived with few belongings and recalled a trash bag. Bodero offered them his Audi to sleep in, which was parked in the rear of his Colonial Village apartment building located at 21 West River Drive in Manchester, New Hampshire. Okay, Bodero was unclear on the timing, at first saying it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, but then when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car at that point, they agreed that it might have been the following weekend, 12/7 and 12/8. He said he provided them Thanksgiving leftovers, which would have been older leftovers if it was the following weekend, and a pizza. Bodero reportedly denied seeing Harmony and stated he only knew that the family had been staying in the parking lot for 2 nights in his Audi. When confronted with the statement Kayla made about him seeing Harmony every day from Thanksgiving to the beginning of December and waving to Harmony and the 2 boys in the car, Bodero stated she was lying. I questioned Bodero about helping the Montgomerys retrieve belongings from their car when it broke down at Webster Street and Elm Street, and he stated he didn't remember that happening. Donna Demers' police interview after Bodero's interview conducted a proffer interview was conducted with his girlfriend, Donna Demers, with her attorney, Dan Duckett, present. Demers stated that she only stayed at Bodero's part-time and that she primarily resided with her parents in Derry, New Hampshire. Demers also recalled the Montgomerys arriving at Bodero's apartment and that they appeared stressed and mostly concerned with getting drugs. Demers recalled them carrying duffel bags and trash bags, and when asked if there was any color to the duffel bag, she stated she believed that there was, but she could not recall any details. Demers was not aware if Bodero had helped the family retrieve any of their belongings from their vehicle that had broken down. Demers remembered Adam, Kayla, and their 2 young boys, but was adamant he never saw Harmony. Deemers recalled bringing fresh Thanksgiving leftovers, possibly the day after Thanksgiving, to the Montgomerys when they were living out of the car. She initially recalled the Montgomerys were living out of the Audi at the time, but when confronted with information, the Montgomerys still had their own car that weekend. Deemers admitted that she may not be remembering the car correctly. Deemers stated that when she brought the Thanksgiving leftovers, the two kids were jumping around in the back seat and that she did not see Harmony in the car. At that time, SM was approximately 2.5 months old, 2.5 years old, and DM was approximately 10 months old, and it's extremely unlikely that a 10-month-old would be jumping around, and therefore investigators believe that Deemers remembered Adam, Kayla, and the two boys arriving, but was adamant she never saw Harmony. Deemers recalled bringing fresh Thanksgiving leftovers, possibly the day after, when they were living out of the car. Oh my gosh, hold on a minute. 10 months old, it's extremely unlikely the 10-month-old would be jumping around, and therefore investigators believe Deemers may have seen Harmony without realizing it was her. During the investigation, search warrants were obtained for Facebook and Google records relevant to the time period of late November, early December. Location data from Google was consistent with the Montgomerys staying in Colonial Village parking lot from approximately 11:27 through 12:08, which corroborates Kayla's account of the time period they stayed there. In addition, another witness interviewed during the investigation, Kimberly Fran, recalled personally interacting with the Montgomerys while they were staying in the Audi in the Colonial Village parking lot during the overnight hours of 12:07 to 12:08. Fran went to help the Montgomerys because the Audi had died and Kayla was worried about her family and was in danger from the cold. Fran said that she did not see Harmony at that time, and it was only Adam, Kayla, and the two boys. Facebook messages exchanged between Matt Gendron and Kayla Montgomery also confirmed this date and time. Frame showing Kayla reaching out to Gendron about the Audi having died and being concerned about the cold. Okay, December 7th to 8th, 2019 would have been the weekend following. In other words, 1 week after the weekend, Bodero testified that he believed the Montgomery stayed in his Audi. That corroborates Kayla's time frame where they stayed in Bodero's Audi. On January 5th, investigators spoke with Courtney O'Brien, who said her husband, Matt Garcia, had known Adam their entire life. She also said that Adam used to work for her. She related how she and Garcia had seen Adam, Kayla, Harmony, and the two boys. Thanksgiving night 2019, and that the family was living out of their Sebring at the time. O'Brien also recalled in conversations she had with Adam sometime between approximately December 19, 2019 and January 2020, during which Adam and Harmony said Harmony was playing with Adam in Harmony's room, and it happened really fast, and Harmony wouldn't stop peeing her pants, and she was better off with her mom. Then January 5th of 2022, investigators also spoke with Matt Garcia separately from Courtney O'Brien. Garcia explained that he and Adam met when he and Garcia were 14. He considered Adam to be a friend. Garcia said that the only time he saw Harmony was on Thanksgiving 2019 when Adam, Kayla, and the kids were living in the car. Garcia told investigators about a phone call he had with Adam on 12/31, which he was after news broke about a phone call broke that Harmony was missing. Garcia said he asked Adam about the news regarding Harmony, and Adam said he had talked to the police. Adam told Garcia he didn't know why the police were bothering him and that he gave Harmony back to Harmony's mother after Garcia had seen her on Thanksgiving. Garcia said he goes, this kid Harmony would start peeing and shiting everywhere. She was driving me nuts. We were living in the car, so I hit her. I had her mom come get her. Garcia elaborated, speaking as if he was Adam, and that Harmony was having her accidents. He said everywhere, all the time, every 5 minutes. We're living in the car. I couldn't take it. I had to give her to her mom. The information from O'Brien and Garcia is consistent with Kayla's information that Adam would get upset with Harmony over her bathroom accidents and eventually killed her due to having a bathroom accident in the car. Investigators located the Chrysler Sebring that the Montgomery family lived in and was evicted from 77, hold on a minute. Investigators located the family lived in after being evicted from 77 Guilford Street, where Harmony was killed. The vehicle was the subject of the call for service at approximately 12:11 at the intersection of Webster Street and Elm Street in Manchester. This is consistent with Kayla's statement 6/3/2022. Okay, let me see what's going on in chat because I didn't realize we have so much to read and I'm feeling a little sleepy now. Let's see what's going on. Hi, Kevin. So, yeah, it's awful. So, Harmony Montgomery, what they're saying is that she had accidents in the car. He would punch her in the face, in the head, with a closed fist a number of times. And then in one of the last times that he did it, he said, I did something to her. Then she made a moaning sound. They went to Burger King and I guess they got food and went and ate it. Didn't check on her. And when they checked on her, she was deceased. That's what this is saying. And then he put her into a duffel bag, an Under Armour duffel bag. He took clothes out of it. He put her body into it. But their car broke down. So they had to stay in a friend's Audi for 2 days. And he kept putting the bag on the snow so the body wouldn't decompose. And then he would put it back into the trunk and put it back on the snow and do that whole thing. Let me go back now. Where were we? Here. Okay. Let's see. So this is consistent with Kayla's statement in her 6/3/2022 interview that Adam killed Harmony on that day and the Sebring broke down. The tow documents show from the tow company that was on scene that they were towing the Sebring at approximately 12:52 to 1:39. The Sebring was thereafter treated as an abandoned vehicle, and an abandoned vehicle tracking report was created by the Auto City Collision Repair Center for the Sebring. Noted that later, 12/16/2019, there was no power to their dash, and an attempt to jumpstart the Sebring resulted in the car immediately starting to smoke. The Sebring was actually sold to Herbert's Used Auto Parts in Goffstown, New Hampshire. On or about 1/29/2020, where it was located by Manchester detectives on 1/1/2022. The manager of Herbert's Used Auto Parts consented to the seizure and search of the Sebring by the Manchester detectives. When the Sebring was searched inside of the vehicle, investigators located a pink Trolls electric toothbrush, which was assigned property number JMT7. The toothbrush was submitted to the New Hampshire State Police Forensics Laboratory, the state lab, for potential DNA analysis. A buccal swab was taken from Crystal Sorey by consent and was also submitted to the state lab for comparison purposes. Upon completion of this analysis, Kay Swango and criminalist at the state lab issued a report dated January 19, 2022. It should be noted that Harmony is the only female child of Crystal Sorey. Based on these lab results, there is strong reason to believe that the DNA profile obtained from the toothbrush is that of Harmony Montgomery, and it will be referred to as such herein. Harmony's body was moved to Kayla's mother's residence on Dubick Streets in June. Kayla explained how Harmony's body was moved to various locations over the course of the next several months. She stated that after living in Bodero's Audi in the Colonial Village parking lot, that they also moved in with her mother, Christina Lubin, birth date 1970, and her mother's boyfriend, John Gallion, 1965, at the Dubuque Street, Manchester, New Hampshire, and Dubuque. Kayla said that when they arrived at the residence, Harmony's body, which was still in a duffel bag, was placed inside of a red cooler with a white top in a common hallway of the apartment building. She stated that the body was left there the whole time the family stayed there, till the end of December 2019. On February 18, 2022, Lubin testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County. She explained that in December of 2019, Adam, Kayla, SM, and DM moved in to live with her for 2 to 3 weeks, and they left on December 30th or 31st. Lubin said they did not have Harmony with them. Kayla told her that Harmony had gone back to live with Harmony's mother at the rehab facility in Massachusetts. Lubin testified that during the time frame, December 2018, she was not aware of Kayla or Adam making any efforts to get in touch with Harmony or Story. She also testified that she said time froze when she did not see Adam or Kayla crying about having something, Harmony. Okay, so let's see. After Kayla's interview, I traveled to 285 Dubuque Street and obtained a consent search form for Lubin and Galen. I explained to Lubin that I needed to obtain a red cooler with a white lid, and Lubin stated the cooler had been in the bedroom closet for 2 years. I asked if this is the cooler that had previously been in the closet in the common hallway, and she confirmed it was. Lubin and Galen consented to the search and seizure of the cooler pictured below. The cooler was submitted to the state lab for processing. According to the reports from the state lab, the results of the screening test performed on samples from the cooler were negative for the presence of blood. In addition, no suitable areas of friction ridge detail were developed on the cooler. Okay, is this the cooler? Where did that go? Over here. Here's the cooler. Harmony's body was moved to the family's transition shelter on Lake Avenue. Law enforcement previously knew, and Kayla confirmed June 3rd, 2022, that after leaving her mother's house, that Adam, Kayla, and SM and DM moved into a Families and Traditions shelter at 177 Lake Avenue. This is approximately 12:30, but her proffer, who interviews kids, said that under I don't know if she didn't know anything. That under armor bag with Harmony's body was brought to the fit shelter as well. Kayla said that Adam placed it in the ceiling vent in the bedroom. Kayla stated that during this time there was liquid coming from the bag containing Harmony's dead body, and there was an odor. She said Adam placed a trash bag around the bag to keep it from leaking. On June 4th, 2022, detectives conducted a search of 177 Lake Avenue, number 1. During their search of the apartment, detectives located a ceiling fan in the bedroom pictured here. Let me show you. There's the ceiling fan, okay? Detectives removed the vent in order to check the top side of the ceiling sheetrock. There, next to the opening of the ceiling vent, they located a large area of staining. This area is directly next to the ceiling where Kayla Montgomery described that Adam Montgomery put Harmony's deceased body in the Under Armour bag. Detectives noted that this area had a smell consistent with decomposition. The photo below was taken by a detective who was standing up in the ceiling vent hole after the vent was removed and the area of staining was circled. A large section of the ceiling sheetrock was removed and seized, which included the stained metal framing, and the hole for the ceiling vent. The ceiling itself was also seized. The photo below shows the area of sheetrock and metal framing that was seized. The area of staining is again circled. Hold on a second. Right there. The ceiling sheetrock with the metal framing attached, together with the vent, were submitted to the state lab for serology, DNA, and latent friction ridge fingerprinting processing. They'll report on June 10th from Martin S. Orlowitz, criminalist 1 at the state lab, wrote that 13 areas of friction ridge detail were deployed. 6 on the metal framing attached to the sheetrock, 7 on the metal vent itself. In a report dated 7/6/2022, criminalist Orlovich noted that not all areas of friction ridge detail were sufficient to be identifiable, and some of the areas contained multiple impressions. In all, criminalist Orlowitz noted and analyzed 10 identifiable impressions, 9 from the metal vent, and 1 from the metal framing. Criminalist Orlowitz matched all 9 of the identifiable impressions from the metal vent to Adam Montgomery, 3 to his left middle finger, 2 to his left little finger, 1 to his left ring finger and middle fingers, simultaneous finger impressions, 1 to his left index finger, 1 to his right index finger, and 1 to his left palm. Both Adam and Kayla were excluded from the impression from the metal framing, so that impression was subsequently searched through multiple automated biometric identification system databases, ABIS databases. As a result, the impression from the metal framing was identified as the left little ring, middle, and index simultaneous finger impressions of Yared B. Lujano Mondrag. Investigators were able to confirm that the individual named Yared B. Lujano Mondragon was a drywall installer. Something here. Okay. So freaking, I don't know if that's so hot in here. I want to pass out. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? He was a drywall installer that had that impressions on that. So I don't think he was the guy that did that. And the state lab confirmed the serology testing on the ceiling section produced several positive samples for human fluids. The state lab attempted DNA analysis on the ceiling section, but it was not successful due to what has been explained as the presence of potential inhibitors, which presented further analysis. 2 samples were cut from the area of staining and 1 from the framing, and they were sent to DNA Labs International in Florida. As well, Harmony's DNA profile was obtained from the toothbrush in the Sebring. Crystal Sori's DNA was obtained via consent, and Adam Montgomery's DNA was obtained during a search warrant. When tested, one of the samples from the stain and the sample from the metal framing had an insufficient amount of DNA, and no further analysis was performed. The other sample from the stain indicated a mixture of at least 2 individuals with at least 1 male contributor. Due to the complex nature of the mixed DNA profile, it was inconclusive for the comparison purposes. Subsequently, the decision was made to send the entire ceiling section to DNA Labs International with the expectation that seeing the section analysts would be able to identify the best areas for testing. Prior to sending the ceiling section, the metal framing was removed. When the metal framing was removed, darker staining was observed under wood some of the metal framing pieces. The staining appeared to have emanated from the area of staining that was first observed, as is the cause of the first area of staining, had also wicked below the bordering material. The darker stained was thick in some areas and had a texture, and it had a scent consistent with decomposition. In addition, looking at the bottom of the metal framing that was touching the darker staining, it appeared that the darker staining had adhered to the metal framing as well. The two pictures below show the darker staining under the metal framing. The first picture shows a large part of the original ceiling seized. Let's just take a look. And this one. Okay. The ceiling section and removed metal framing were submitted to DNA Labs International for testing on August 4th, 2022. Forensic DNA analyst Alan Ackroyd Isales of DNA Labs International issued a report. Okay, so here's what the report noted. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 4.1 billion times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony Montgomery and an unknown person than if it originated from two unknown persons. This analysis provides very strong support for the proposition that Harmony Montgomery is a contributor to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. The report also notes limited support for the position that Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery are not contributors to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. The report also limits support for the proposition that Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery are not contributors to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. Further testing was performed on the ceiling sheetrock in a report dated 9/14/2022. Forensic DNA analysis Ackroyd Isales noted that another sample was taken from the sheetrock, which indicated a mixture of at least two individuals. Harmony Montgomery, Crystal Sorey, and Adam Montgomery cannot be ruled out as possible contributors to the DNA profile. The report noted the DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.1 trillion times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony Montgomery and one unknown person than if it originated from two unknown persons. This analysis provides very strong support for the proposition that Harmony Montgomery is a contributor to the DNA profile. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.5 times more probable if the sample originated from Crystal Sorey and one unknown person than if it originated from two unknown persons. Okay, and then the DNA profile from the sample is approximately 69 times more probable if the sample originated from two unknown persons than if it originated from Adam Montgomery and one unknown person. The analysis provides limited support for the proposition that Adam Montgomery is not a contributor to the DNA profile obtained from the same. Okay, testing was also performed in the metal framing pieces. Let's go down. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.4 trillion times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony. Okay, and there was a second interview with Kayla. Kayla said that once people at FIT started saying they could smell something, Adam took the Under Armour bag containing Harmony's body, which was inside the trash bag, from the ceiling. He put it all inside of another trash bag, and then he replaced it in the ceiling. Kayla said that once maintenance was called to check the vent, Adam put the trash bag and the Under Armour bag and Harmony's body into the closet. Kayla said that when maintenance checked the vent, they said it must have been a dead animal or something because they didn't see anything up there. Paula was identified as Paula Maldonado Fibres, March 11th, 1998. On July of 2022, I spoke with Maldonado Fabris via telephone, and that Adam, Kayla, and their 2 kids moved into the FIT shelter about 2 to 3 weeks after she moved in. She recalled Adam one time bringing up his daughter, and when asked where his daughter was, he said she was with his mother, Harmony's grandmother. I asked him about a complaint that the Montgomery's apartment smelled, and she said it was her friend Mandy who made the complaint. She stated Mandy dropped off some clothes for the newborn and noted the apartment smelled. Maldonado Fabrice said that Mandy was now deceased and believes that Mandy to be Amanda Crosby, a female who lived at the shelter and is now deceased. On June 4th, 2022, I received a copy of maintenance reports from 177 Lake Avenue. One report stated that on February 5th, while the Montgomery still resided in the apartment number 1, the residents of apartment 2 noticed that there was a slight odor when they turned on the heat. In addition, 2/21/2020, there was a report of a weird smell coming from vents outside of apartment 1, which was requested to be looked at. This was the same unit Adam and Kayla had lived in, and it was made just after they moved out. In Kayla's first interview, she stated that after living at 177 Lake Avenue, that her and the family moved to an apartment at 644 Union Street in Manchester. Police were previously in possession of a lease agreement that was signed by Adam and Kayla Montgomery on February 20th, 2020, for themselves and 2 children to lease 644 Union Street, 2nd floor, apartment number 2. Kayla said that when they moved to the apartment 644, they brought Harmony's body with them. She said that Adam put the underarm bag with Harmony's body in first place the plastic in a storage container, plastic bin storage container, and placed this plastic bin storage container into a closet in a bedroom at 644 Union Street, number 2. Kayla said Adam that then at one point took the underarm bag out of the plastic bin storage container and that the Under Armour bag was leaking. Kayla said Adam put another trash bag around the Under Armour bag and placed it in the refrigerator. That's why they took the refrigerator that time. Yuck. Of 644 Union Street, number 2. Kayla stated that at some point after Harmony's body was in the refrigerator, Adam transferred Harmony's body from the Under Armour duffel bag into a new bag. Kayla stated that this happened in the bathroom. Kayla stated that on the day in question, Adam spent 4 to 6 hours inside the bathroom with the shower running. Kayla then described Adam as placing Harmony's dead body inside of what she described as a Catholic Medical Center maternity bag. This bag was much smaller than the Under Armour duffel bag, and it would not fit Harmony's body unless it was dismembered or grossly distorted. Kayla described an odor coming from the bedroom and saw someone coming from the bathroom when Adam would open the door. Kayla recalled the scent of cleaning supplies in the bathroom when Adam was finishing up. Kayla said that afterwards Adam placed the CMC maternity bag inside the freezer. She described the refrigerator freezer as a standard over-under refrigerator freezer combo. And Kayla's first interview, investigators obtained an exemplary CMC maternity bag that they suspect may have been the same bag into which Harmony's body had been placed during Kayla's second interview on November 23rd, 2022. She identified the bag. Here's the bag. In the second interview, Kayla said that Adam actually transferred Harmony's body from the duffel bag to the CMC maternity bag while they were still at 177 Lake Avenue. She said that happened about a day after maintenance checked the vent in their unit and that the bags with Harmony's body were the closest thing to that 1-2-3 time frame. Kayla said that Adam made the transfer to CMC maternity bag in the bathroom of apartment 1. He zipped the CMC maternity bag shut and then put it in the closet. Harmony's body was moved to Portland Pie Company freezer on Elm. Kayla stated that she herself then brought the CMC maternity bag containing Harmony's body to Adam's place of work, Portland Pie Company restaurant on Elm Street in Manchester while they were living at 177. This was done at Adam's request the same day Adam transferred Harmony's body to the CMC maternity bag. Kayla stated that she pushed SM and DM to the Portland Pie Company in a front back stroller, and that's all it tells me. Wow, that's a lot. And on my eye, I have to get something to drink because we have to do stuff still, and my eyes are killing me, and I've got to get something to drink. So let me see. I'll be right back. We're going to read. I really want to do that story with you guys. And this is just a little too much. We'll have to break this down in subsequent videos because there's just too much documentation, and it's probably like flying through your head. I don't know why my picture isn't there now, and it's just saying that. That is weird. That is a weird thing. I don't know why it says that. Okay, let me go get a drink, and I will be right back. So that is very unfortunate, and I don't think they've ever found her body. But that's why they took the refrigerator when they went. Oh gosh, somebody moved that. When they cube dice. When they took the refrigerator out in 2022, and we were all wondering. Okay. There's a candle burning behind me because it's my mother's birthday on the 20th, so I had a candle, and I've got to remember to. No, they haven't found her body. Nope. Okay. So. Let me just see if we covered everything. That's much better. Okay, so we did Bryan Kohberger, we did the dad, we did the family, and we did Harmony, and we'll have to go back to that. But I want to bring up something else, and if you haven't read it, we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to start writing, well, some short story. Well, I don't know how short they'll be. It might, I've been told like just one of my experiences, and these are going to be based off of experiences because I've had a lot of experiences here on YouTube. I've had a lot of different experiences. I've had imposter experiences. I've had lots of mental illness dealing with it. And so I thought I would use some creative inspiration that I have. I like to write. I do. I'm even thinking of screenplays because some of this stuff really is fitting on a screenplay. We're even thinking of doing some collaborations, maybe that some of us would contribute to, and eventually make a large book of all of the different social media personalities and people with mental illness that we've come across, whatnot and whatnot. So I decided to get started on that today. It's a good place to channel a lot of the, instead of trying to no matter what you say with these personality types and this mental illness, they will never, ever, ever accept the truth and that they're telling lies. They will gaslight and they will do all kinds of things. So let me bring my energy and just write, with loosely based on my experiences. So that's what I'm doing. And I just find it freeing because while there's the legal route to take with certain aspects that I will take, if any of that comes to fruition, I will definitely take that. They should see that I've done that. But other than that, what they say doesn't matter because they lie and they don't matter. So the people that matter know, and that's all. So now I'm going to write, and this is going to be informative. And somebody said that they'd like me to read these writings when I write them. So I don't know. I think by tomorrow I should have another, more chapters of the story, if you will, or I don't know exactly how this is going to go out, but then I maybe will, once I get a few of them down, start, kind of putting them into a book or whatever. And so I just wanted to know, I got a lot of good feedback on it. And if you haven't heard it, I'll read it now and I'll show you the pictures. This is my own writing, all original. This is not subject to any copyright except mine. This is my material. And all of the pictures are copyright free. They do require no, they're allowed to be used. Okay, so let's now come here. So the title of this, and you can let, well, let me just grab this here. I want to have my chat up while I'm reading with you. Hold on, what did I just do? You know what, I went into the wrong, no wonder. Hold on, I went into the wrong thing and I lost my blog thing, but I'll just pull it up. And this is on my blog, so you can keep checking truecrimechat.org, okay? And let me pull this over. Okay. Now let me get you up here. Now I can see this. Okay, so here we go. This story is the True Crime on YouTube series. And this one is 72-year-old, self-proclaimed New York City street fighter attacks grieving mother relentlessly. This is going to revolve around two people, okay? One is Hope, and one is a blogger. She resides in Seattle, and she's a food blogger, and her name is Caroline. We are bringing you a dark tale. Let me make this a little larger. A short story with an evil villain. Our story's villain is a trash-talking, sex-obsessed, elderly, bitter woman who is seething with jealousy over a much younger, vivacious, successful writer and YouTube creator. That's the ice. Now you're probably thinking this evil old woman would be named something sinister, like Cruella. But ironically, her given name is Hope. Her name literally recoiled in disgust, much like the way many of Hope's family members have. A couple of years ago, the self-described street fighter relocated from New York City to Florida. Hope's estranged daughter took over her narcissistic mother's old, hoarded apartment. The clean-out process took her forever, but it had to be done. Years of hoarding crap and cats had made the place inhabitable to anyone other than shut-in Hope. In fact, she was facing eviction because the stench of the cat urine and moldy boxes was causing many tenants to complain. It's a new series, Jeanette, I'm doing on based loosely on my YouTube experience. Hope moved to St. Augustine, and choosing that city was no coincidence. Hope is quite upset about her age and is seriously looking for the fountain of youth. It was not long before Hope cluttered up her small house with old junk, and thanks to her compulsive online shopping. She is always trying to fill the void in her life and her soul, if she had one, with new small appliances and cheap coffee makers. Right before her move, Hope became obsessed with a YouTube creator. This creator had everything she wanted. At first she tried to be friendly, but she could not contain her jealousy and evil nature. Hope worked her deception behind the scenes, but the creator was too smart for her and called her out. Hope thinks she is slick, but she isn't. Hope uses the same transparent, manipulative tactics that she has for years. Anyone who knows her can tell you her next move. If that was not enough, she has a nervous laugh that gives her away while saying the most outrageous things. Hope is always looking to screw someone over. One of her favorite things to do is to leave fake Yelp reviews as revenge. Hope was very proud of this revenge mechanism. She even suggested it to that YouTube creator she was obsessed with. The YouTube creator, whose name is Caroline, was disgusted thinking about that kind of person. Hope is. Hope even suggested that as revenge on a live streaming video. When she was attacked for it, she pretended she was kidding. When that did not work, she was coming unglued. She claimed she did not know she was live and called it a hot mic moment. We hope this sounds like an interesting story, and we hope you will learn something from this tale. There are reasons people turn out like Hope. We will visit her failed marriages, horrible childhood, her failure as a mother, and the fact that she was never able to have a career. All of these failures caused Hope to invent and fabricate the life she wanted to live. The only problem was none of it was real. This meant no one could meet Hope in real life. It also accounted for why she felt most comfortable going on YouTube with her camera off or focused on her bed. You see, Hope spent much of her time in her bed. When she sent photos to friends, she was so ashamed of her looks, she put a big blue circle on her face. Other times, she would share a photo from her youth that had long escaped her. Did you love our preview? We will be bringing you the first part very soon, maybe tonight, so check back. After we tell Hope's story, we will bring you the stories of many other internet harassers and bullies. Most of these people are legends in their own mind. They are really trapped in their own homes for the most part. They try to combat their feelings of being powerless by becoming keyboard warriors. Let us know what you think in the comments. So what do you think? Do you think we should continue the series? Let me know. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Senrisa. You can just go, if you would like to read it yourself, you can go to truecrimechat.org. It's right, it'll be the first story up on the page.
Yeah, it sounds like a good story. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I know you're upset about Cruella.
Well, you know, I was always very friendly with her.
I know.
Good friend. Yeah. It's okay, though. You know.
I know. Deborah
Sometimes you can't always be a good example. Sometimes you got to be the bad example.
Yeah. Every story's got to have a villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know that Cruella is, though, in this one. Not so sure.
Yeah, hope.
I look forward to the sequel.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Yeah, a lot of. It'll be a lot of information. You know, maybe you'll recognize certain types. I mean, we've run across. It's been a long time, so there's a lot of material to build into stories. I guess you call them based on true events, and names have been changed to protect the innocent. And that's what we're going to do. Every story needs to be told. You're right, Kevin, and there are many, many stories to tell here. So interesting. I think it's a good outlet, you know, creative, and we'll do that. But yeah, anytime you can leave a comment there on the blog if you like, or you could write to me if you have any and for you know, ideas, or if you would say, hey, you know, you're right about that, we could take care of that. Hello, Scooter. Did you remain up? Elle, did you stay up?
Huh?
Well, somebody was yawning. Bucky?
No, I just was copying a little bit. I didn't yawn yet.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I wanted to say hi to Beth, Adventures with Beth. Oh, and Jeanette.
Adventures with Beth. Hi, Jeanette. How's everybody doing? I miss saying hello to everybody. Hi, Marianne. Oh, Rich, you went good night. And Christine.
Who went to night? Who went night?
Rich goes to bed early.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then Risa, Marianne, L, Lisa L. Let's see. Rich. Where's facilitator?
He was in
He
here.
was,
or
yeah.
she.
I was interested to see what facilitator thinks about the stories. Facilitator. Don't make me call you 3 times. Facilitator. I got your messages too. I bookmarked the videos. Yes, a new series, Jeanette. There's lots. I mean, we were talking about that definitely could be screenplays with a lot. Yeah, there's just lots and lots of material. Yeah, I know, Deb. I was just wondering. What'd you say?
I was going to say, can't they click on Nightbot, the link for your blog?
Oh, did they put it out there?
I don't know.
Oh, you know, that reminds me. We have to look at the top chatters. We haven't looked at that in probably 2 months. Okay.
Do you think I'll ever be one?
You were, but I don't think I'll get up to where I was before, because that one during the trial, I was like number 3, I think. Kevin Leonard is the top chatter.
Congrats, Kevin.
Deborah Van Couverden is number 2. Chris Reese 77 is number 3. Number 4 is Senrisa, and L is 5. Margot K is 6. Lisa L is 7. Debbie L is 8. Rough and Ready's 9. Janae Ann is 10. Let's see. 11 is High 61. Christine Ferrara, you're 12. Bucky Ann, you're 13. Linda, you're 14. Julie W, you're 15. Adventures with Beth is 16. Sharon is 17. And Scooter, you fall in at 18.
Wow.
Shelley Joe, you're 19. Lisa Hobbs is 20. And then Lil Lighty is 21. Jeanette is 22. MM77, you've come in at 23. Judy with a Y, you are 24. And Teresa W is 25.
Wow.
Congratulations to all the top chatters.
John.
Judy with an I watches, but she doesn't chat too often.
Right.
Okay.
I know, Jeanette, but you can't sanitize stories. You know, you got to try to keep them as true as they are, you know? It is gross. Oh my gosh, you're number 22. Oh, you're number 22, Jeanette? Good for you.
Congrats, Jeanette.
Congratulations, Jeanette. Adventure said the word games got me back on the list. I know. And Sharon was giving me tips on not to hopefully make her feel like she needs to take herself out over this. because she shouldn't feel that way over the word game. But if I don't pay attention to the chat, she feels like she can't handle it anymore. So,
I'll try to restrain myself.
okay.
She's always putting the words in chat.
I
It's like,
know.
I'm tired here.
I've already done the.
You already did the one today?
No. I take that back. I
Oh.
did yesterday.
Yesterday.
Even though I consider it still yesterday.
Do you play the game, Scooter?
Yes, I do.
How are you
Not
coming? How are you
right.
coming along with your Candy Crush addiction?
Still addicted.
As much as before?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Some days I'm better at it, though.
Oh my gosh.
Some days I'm not as addicted.
What is it? Why are you? What's the addiction? You have to get to the next level?
Yes, and I'm in these races, you know. It puts you in these races.
With other
And-
people?
Yes.
Mm.
So I keep making sure I'm playing because I want to stay in the top, you know, of the race. It's probably all a scam,
I'm sure it is.
you know? Yeah. So I'll win 45 points and I can't stand it if I lose on that. So I've got, my first streak was 17 in a row and then I lost. My next streak was 50 in a row and I lost. The next one I think was 47 and then I lost.
Oh my gosh.
And now I forget what I'm on, but I'm up there again. I'll tell you what I'm on right now. Streak number 37.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then tomorrow, there should be a sale in the evening. I think we're going to have a new seller. I think Christiane is coming. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow to sell. I believe she's going to start with jewelry, but she also has vintage items.
Yeah, that sounded really interesting, the stuff she has.
Yes, so that will be fun, and that should be on about 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on Thursday, we're going to have our regular big marathon ranting session. So if you have something to rant about, you can come up and rant with us. And of course, I did get another letter from about Letitia Stauch's discovery. Okay, and this time I contacted the district attorney's office, and then they were telling me, oh, that's all of the sheriff's office. But then somebody just came back to me with something, and now listen to this. Okay, so here's the deal on this now. This wasn't there. It was. Oops. Why is my keyboard doing that? God, I hate when I get my mail and then I go look for my mail. Oh, I know. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Somebody is saying that Truth Brigade got blocked. That's interesting. I'm sorry about that, Truth Brigade. Let me go check right now.
Oh
I
my
am
God.
very sorry. Let me go check.
Do you mean blocked? That doesn't make sense.
They just messaged me and said that they were trying to chat and nobody can see them and they're blocked.
Wow.
Let me go and find you. Hold on YouTube. Let me see your channel. YouTube. Truth Brigade. Let's get on YouTube. Truth Brigade.
Hi, Deidre.
You have it as all one. Oh, there you are. Is this you? This is you. Okay. Let me see. About. I might have to make you a moderator if you're not blocked. You're not blocked. That's weird, Truth Brigade. I wonder if it's one of those. Let me quickly just make you a moderator, and that way we can see if you have one of those Bridget freaking situations. Not sure if that's what it is, but let me go ahead, and then if you can try that.
Yeah.
Let's see, it would be in the About section. No, Home. Okay, let me grab you here. Okay. Let me. Hi, Deidre Realtor. You just watched their Shug video? Did you like it? Your phone died, but the story sounded very interesting. Thank you, Deidre. You know, you always think, oh, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to get going with some short stories. Let's see. Let me get to my YouTube so I can see my YouTube studio. I'm going to have to put you in there. That's so weird. I don't know why it does that. Community.
That is weird.
Okay, I'm going to add you as a moderator, Truth Brigade. Let me see. All right, now please try to see if you can chat. Okay. MRB delayed response. Really good so far. Your humor comes through. We want more. Haha. Thank you. Should I clip this? And I'm ready to work on a lot more. A lot more. You didn't. Very sad that people like that, Deidre. I've seen some homes with hoarders and they're very gross. It's an illness. People sad that people live like that. Yeah, it is an illness. Let's see. Let's see. Truth Brigade, can you hear me? I hope you just wrote to me pretty early. Hey, should I clip this? What is that? It looks like a little... oh, wait, I want to read about that submarine. What's going on with the submarine?
They haven't found it.
They haven't found it?
No, and it doesn't look like they're going to.
That's crazy, right?
Horrible, yes.
But where did it go?
They lost contact.
I know that, but where did the submarine
like 2
go?
minutes after. Well, they said that the Titanic's down 3 miles deep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they said that they can only get their equipment like this far down the ocean, in the ocean, but that they're way, way, way down. Okay. Way down. So it's not, you can't get down there. It's not, they don't have rescue crews that can just get there and try to help you. But they said maybe they're on the surface somewhere. And they've been looking all over on the surface.
I don't understand that, but
No.
Wait, had they, oh gosh, I have so many questions. Did they ever take this submarine thing anywhere before?
It's been down there before.
Been
Yes.
down to the Titanic?
Yes.
And
Oh,
no
really?
and no problem.
I guess not.
You wonder how their family lets it get there. Oh, she's so bad. But I don't understand. And they've got that very, very multi-billionaire guy on there, right?
Yeah, he's the owner of it, isn't he? Or not?
I don't know. I forget why I just read about it last night.
They said to be able to go on there, you have to be like a billionaire.
It's almost $300,000.
Correct.
250,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes.
5 on board,
Right.
and it's about 6 meters long, and they apparently have maybe 2 days of oxygen left. There are a couple of scuba tanks, inside there. They said there should have been a secondary thing that went down with them because it's very risky to be on your own with no chance of anybody else around, you know. So
Well, they're on their own.
And
they're on
absolutely.
their own.
Oh, the
Okay.
cheap coffee makers? Yeah, should I clip this? Yeah. Hope is a little obsessed with those.
Bummer.
Bummer birthmark, Phil. Remember there was a Far Side thing in I forget what animal it was, but he had like a bullseye right on his face or something, and they were like, bummer of a birthmark, Phil.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
Wait, I missed what you said.
The
What?
Far Side. Did you ever read the Far Side comics?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Michael's got
Yeah,
those vocal.
Yeah, well, there was like an animal. I forget what kind of animal he was. And he had this big bullseye birthmark.
Right.
And
Right.
the animal says, bummer of a birthmark, Phil. Or whatever his name was, Phil, Ted, John.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hand anybody any darts.
It was a deer.
It was a bummer of a birthmark.
yeah.
Oh, Hal. Maybe his name was Hal. They used those kind of Hal, 3-letter names.
Al. Yeah.
Hal, Ted, Phil, some 4 letters. Two Scooter, do you still do stories on YouTube?
I do, Deidre. I haven't done them for a while. But yes, I do. I do.
She's moving on to pole dancing on YouTube.
What?
Stories weren't cutting it for her. She's going to try something more risque.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, she
Or
is.
start reading in the nude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would definitely not. Everybody would leave.
Somebody said on Twitch, did they say on Twitch that they were doing that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I wouldn't be. I don't know if they can or not.
I'm trying to see if somebody said they were doing really risque stuff on Twitch or something. I think I just read that.
Boy.
I don't know, somewhere, I don't know. All today I've been reading like a whole bunch of things somewhere. It's like crazy. But I want to take a look at that submarine. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. And like, how did they lose?
They're not sure, Carolyn.
They
just
were
don't
about,
get
I
it.
think, 1.5 miles down. Is that right? And they lost all contact with them. So they weren't even down the full way.
But don't you think like they would have been like, hey, we just lost contact with them, like before it got so far?
Well, 1.5 miles is pretty far already.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Scary.
I can't imagine. Oh, she's great, Deidre. Lexi is great.
Canadian
I'm
aircraft.
able to call her Fox now, Fox. So I try to remember, but yeah, she's great.
It says underwater noises were detected in the North Atlantic Ocean while U.S. and Canadian crews searched for this small vessel.
They heard some tapping, apparently. Now, I don't know if that's really been verified, but
The noises
kind of
prompted,
tapping.
remotely operated vehicle operations to search for the origin of the noises. The ROV searches have yielded negative results, but continue, the Coast Guard said on Twitter. Additionally, the data from the P-3 aircraft has been shared with our U.S. Navy experts for further analysis of what should be considered in future search plans. U.S. and Canadian ships and aircrafts have intensified search efforts Tuesday amid oxygen supply concerns. As of Tuesday morning, a total of 10,000 square miles had been searched. Captain Jamie Frederick of the 1st Coast Guard District in Boston and the Titan, as the submersible is known, had about 40 hours of breathable air left at about 1 p.m. Tuesday, meaning its oxygen supply could get depleted by Thursday morning. He added that an underwater robot had started searching in the vicinity of the Titanic and that there was a push to get salvage equipment to the scene in case the sub is found. Besides that, 3 C-130 aircraft and C-17 transport planes from the U.S. military have been aiding the search, and the Canadian military said it provided a patrol aircraft and 2 surface ships. Still, the remote location, 900 miles east of Cape Cod and up 13,000 feet below sea level, make that pursuit an incredible, complex operation. Well, the carbon fiber submersible had 96-hour oxygen supply when it went into the sea, 6 a.m. Sunday. So I heard all this stuff. I can't believe it was only yesterday.
So they're not quite 3 miles down.
Well, they don't know. They don't know where they are.
Now, this guy has the name David
Yeah.
Concannon. The other guy had the name David Kincannon. You see it 3 times. An advisor to Ocean Gate
Communication
Expeditions.
right away. Oh,
Ocean
and
Gate. I want to look at that. Ocean Gate Expeditions. Let's see how many expeditions.
but they said it's not unusual for them to lose communication, but that, you know, it will come back. Communication.
Then why
but
are they
this
so
one
worried?
did. No, because it didn't come back.
Oh,
already.
oh.
And
They
they
were
said,
like, oh my gosh, they could be stuck on something, you know.
and they
just
said
don't
even
know.
if it kind of by fluke has risen up to the surface somewhere, there's no way they can get out from the inside of there. They're still trapped inside that thing. They can't. You can't exit from the inside. I think it has to be
Right.
opened from outside only.
Yeah. The
Someone
bolts
has to open it for them?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh my God.
because it's bolted shut. Can you
Mm,
imagine?
No. No.
Why is
Or-
their website down? That's weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they said that the families, you know,
Well,
had
they're
better start getting used to it, that it's going to be the worst news possible. That's what they were saying. I saw that on the news today.
But okay, because the whole company is there.
I don't know.
I mean, here's their Instagram. It. You say they've done this mission before.
Yes.
So, and the mission
Yes.
is they go down to the
And
Titanic.
it's a day, just a day thing, you know?
And
It's a 1 day thing.
the crew of the 2022 Titanic expedition succeeded in capturing unprecedented 8K footage of the Titanic, exposing an astonishing level of detail and colors. The extraordinary footage premiered on our YouTube channel today. Okay. So this is what they do. They go down there and they don't get out of this thing. They just ride
No.
around in it.
Yeah, and look at the wreck.
Okay. Could do that on a
it-
video and be alive.
And it was called the Titan, which people say, oh, they wouldn't have gone on it just because of the name.
Yeah.
It's too close to Titanic.
And isn't there so much irony in that, huh? And this is all that they do is they go to see the Titanic. They don't do any other expeditions?
I don't know, Carolyn. This I only heard about this. I don't know. I know, Caleb. They somehow put it like that, you know, that because somebody said, well, what is your advice? And this one guy said, well, I would say because at the point that we're at now, that they had better just start preparing themselves for the worst. Because they were more or less saying there is no hope.
But will
they-
they recover what will happen to this? Will they ever recover it?
I don't know.
Here's what I don't understand. If they can't get down near the Titanic, you mean this is the only thing available? They only have one of these?
I assume. I believe so. I don't know though. I think so. I'm not an expert on it. I don't know.
There's other ones that are different than that I heard have gone to even a deeper depth than the Titanic. But it's not the same model. But it is, it's different. So they've got something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I don't either. I'm not the expert on this.
And this is what they're in. This is so claustrophobic. Is that what they are
I
in?
know.
Yes.
I thought.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's small, and 5 people were in that
Oh
thing.
my gosh. Can you imagine being in that and like being like, oh my gosh, you must be clawing your skin off, right?
Yes.
Trying to think like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Okay.
The one reporter was crying and everything because he had been in one in 2000 to go down to the Titanic for, I think it was the 48 hours show. And he said, or something like that. And he said that they did get stuck down on the Titanic. They got stuck like on a rudder, one of those huge rudders
Yeah.
for this thing. And he said the pilot was a Russian guy and that he was able to contact somebody. And he said he couldn't make out what they were saying, but this guy the pilot was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He said it was pitch black down there, ice cold. And he said for 45 minutes, they were back. The guy was back and forth and talking to somebody. And he said he was just sitting there thinking to himself, well, this is how it ends for you. He said he just knew that was going to be it. And then he said, just like that, then after 45 minutes, the guy was able to get them off and then they went off. But he was sitting there crying, He's like, this is horrible. He's like, I don't think, he goes, they may have not made it even after like the first hour or so when they lost communication. But they don't know until they find them, if they ever do.
It says here, now this is the ABC, it's Australian news. If they did lose power, they could have floated to the surface, but they would have no communications to signal where they are. And it also says that locating them would be staggeringly difficult because there's foggy conditions and 2-meter waves.
Whoa. Oh, and Deidre, no, it's not a huge submarine.
No, look, it's very small.
No,
Can you
they
see
dropped.
my thing? It's very,
It's
very small. Look.
It's owned by a private company. It's owned by a billionaire. And isn't he the owner of this or no? Why do I think he's the owner of the company? But I could be totally wrong on that. For some reason, I've got that in my head.
I don't know.
No, you haven't heard that?
The craft is 6.4 meters with around 96 hours of oxygen.
Man.
Yeah, and they had a pilot of a submarine, and he's like, this is really nuts. This is something that should not have even been done. He's like, when you're going down in a submarine, there is so much that you have to do, all the different lengths, and you have to look at everything and, check everything with flashlights as you're, slowly going down. And he's like, this is just crazy.
So that's like 12 feet by 8 feet.
Titanic
It
expedition.
isn't very big, is it?
Mhm. How many people
It
are on it?
says-
5, right?
Why?
But
Yeah.
it says that he refused to accept the lead engineer's assurances this man and accused him of improperly sharing confidential information, but he adds that he'd been critical of the non-destructive testing of the experimental design of the hull, and that the paying passengers wouldn't have been aware and would not have been informed of this experimental design.
Correct. And do you know what their controller is? A PlayStation game controller thingy.
Yep, that's right.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
No.
Okay, so they began in the summer. Oh my gosh, their expeditions to the Titanic began. Now, see that this is wrong. Now, this is People magazine, and they said, listen to this. Their expeditions to the Titanic began in the summer of 2023. The summer of 2023 begins tomorrow.
What? Wait, what?
I'm telling you, this People magazine is just ridiculous.
Sun-kissed Carolyn said, yes, it is the CEO of the company that's in there.
Right, and I just want to know how long this has happened for them. How long?
Thanks, Sun-kissed.
Would you say they
I
have
can
96
never remember.
hours of oxygen? And if they get all hyped up about the whole thing, they'll use it up a lot sooner.
That's what they said too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That one guy that, said he was in one in 2000, that he said he hopes that they just maybe didn't even realize it somehow, that whatever's happened, that somehow they just didn't even know it.
Boy.
And he's given up all hope. He was the one sitting there crying.
Who's
And I think he was the one saying, I think the families need to be prepared. Hey, little lady.
Hi,
Little
little
lady.
lady, you were on the top chatters.
Little lady who.
See, but they had other. Look, okay, here's something else.
Okay.
And oceanographic magazine, they say that IO's Expeditions, the team behind the iconic 5 Deep Expedition series, has carried out the first dive to the wreck of the Titanic in 14 years. There's been other people that have done this. And so if there's other people that have done this, there's got to be some other craft to get down there, isn't there?
Well, yeah, there would have to be, but how are they going to rescue them?
They don't even know where it is. They have no clue where it is.
You think they would have a line on them, right? So you could
I
pull them
know
up.
somebody mentioned about
I mean,
tethering.
yeah, come on.
They're like, but it's 3 miles down.
It's a big deal. The guy's a multimillionaire. You can't get 3 miles of line.
You're right.
5,280 feet a mile. Come on.
You're right.
Seriously, even if it cost, $1 million.
You're right.
Wouldn't you like to know that you're not going to die?
What is a mile? Like 5,000?
5,280. Yeah, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, that's a good guess on my part. Okay.
Carolyn just said that though, Sharon.
Maybe I didn't hear her. Anyway.
Somebody needs a Snickers.
I love you guys. No, Jeanette, it's not. Yeah, she said, but the GPS isn't working.
Yeah, because, okay, here's what I think they should have done. They should have had a boat. This guy has all this money, had a boat, have a big, like, pulley type system,
I
have
agree.
all the line that's attached to that thing, And hey, if we don't hear from you, we're yanking you guys up.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
And
But
then
it would have to be a 2-mile long piece of whatever to do it. But yeah.
whatever. You're attached to it. That's it. It's like a lead. When you're riding a horse and you're on a lead, you have the little guy on the lead.
Wonder if they have ever done that with any of these expeditions going down to the Titanic.
No, but I mean,
I don't think so.
how much could that really be? Just some lines and whatever,
Maybe it's
steel
a matter
cable
of-
or something.
Maybe it's a matter of the cable getting stuck or something. Maybe caught on something. Maybe
I don't
so they don't want to risk that.
Yeah, now look what
I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas.
And look what that got them. Well, then maybe if that would happen, they'd have an emergency cut. Like, there'd also be something there that would cut it, could chop it if they got stuck.
Right.
Like some big
If they had
razor thing that came out.
No one could get them out, you mean, that they could?
No, like if
emergency-
they got that cable stuck on something and they couldn't move,
Yeah.
that they could just, something would come out and just hack it off.
Well, what
Yeah,
happens
they
if they
could
come
do
up to the surface and they've got a half hour worth of air and there's nobody nearby to come and open it? Then what?
They die.
Wait, they can't open it themselves?
No.
No, not from the inside.
No.
Nope.
They can't. They have to have someone from the outside
Why?
unbolt.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Because
They
of the
didn't say
depth.
why.
The depth of how far down they go,
Yeah.
I think it's got to be sealed right.
Yeah, for the pressure, water pressure.
Keep it from compressing like you would a
Yeah.
tin can.
There's so much pressure, so much that it has to be that way.
Yeah, but you're not unbolting it down there. You're doing that on dry.
No, but let's say you get
But you're in that up there.
on the
You're
Oh.
in that.
Here's the thing,
You make
okay?
it
And
to
this
the
is the
top.
thing with me, and maybe this is
Open
good
up.
and maybe this is bad. But you know what? There's been other places that have gone down there and taken the pictures of this. I'll just watch it on the video if I'm interested. I don't. I can't even get out. It's not like I'm going to say, "Oh, I'm going to get out and I'm going to get a piece of that Titanic. I'm going to take a picture on that thing." You can't even get out. So what the
No.
hell am I spending $300,000? I'd rather put a down payment down on a beach house with that, and that's ridiculous, right? It's not like you're going to be able to recreate "I'm the king of the world" or anything. So to me, it's stupid. And sometimes people that have a stupid amount of money or really do stupid things. I'm sorry, they do.
No, true.
Yeah.
It's like, look, the other people went down, they risked their life, and you could see it on the freaking video, and you could spend that money in a lot of other places.
They all knew. It's the thing. They all knew there's a risk
And
of that.
some people that
That's
don't
like
have
the
two
people that
nipples,
want to
these
go to
two-
Mars, and they're like, oh, I want to go to Mars, right? What?
Go for it. Have at it.
The last thing you
Yeah,
want to
both
get me
sides.
into a rocket ship. That would be, and they're like, oh, that would be
a
torture.
hard no on me.
I would be having a panic attack. I would be screaming, jumping out.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I would never want to do that. Never. I don't understand the people. I think they've got to have something a little bit wrong with them, but I don't know.
Oh my God. What baby?
Just, I don't
So
know.
okay, but what if your trip was free?
I still wouldn't go. I wouldn't go.
wouldn't
They
do it. I
couldn't
wouldn't
pay
do
me to
it.
go.
They couldn't
They
pay me
couldn't
either.
pay me. They couldn't say, we're going to buy you a beach house in Edisto if you just go on this trip. You're going to get anyone you want. No, I'm not.
You still wouldn't? If you
Oh, hell no.
No way. I'd say, well,
And a
I'll just
brand-
scrape together some stuff and get it myself. Thanks a lot. All right.
brand new car
No,
on top of that
no.
and a boat?
Nothing. Look,
No.
what good is all this guy's money going to do him? Not a
He's
damn
dead.
bit of good.
They
Yeah.
said he's already been to space. He's been to both poles, South Pole, North
I
Pole.
know he's gonna be able to stay the rest
And I'll
of
tell
his
you,
life at
his
the bottom
wife,
of
his
the
wife
ocean.
probably has a tremendous insurance policy on this guy besides his
Yeah.
money. And
If he's insurable, think about that one. Would you want to insure, be the person
Well, he's
to,
already a billionaire, so, you know,
well, yeah.
have all his money.
Yeah.
Well, think of the lawsuits on
But
this
what? Yeah.
one.
What about the lawsuits? Are there any lawsuits that are going to come from
Well,
this?
they probably have signed something, wouldn't you
I
think?
think they would have signed something, absolutely.
I'm sure they had to.
Well, they
Sun-kissing
did,
Iran.
I think, but, you know, if they didn't reveal, there might be some loopholes. They didn't reveal some things they should have. Who
Yeah.
knows, you know?
No, probably, yeah.
If they said you could get out in a wetsuit and go around, I could see the appeal, really, like a little. But you're just going to sit in this thing, and you're going to look around.
That your body can't handle the
And then
pressure.
just think about it: if you get on there, and then one of those 5 people starts coughing and coughing, like, oh gosh, I feel like I'm coming down with something, right? And then you
Yeah,
can't
don't
even
think.
get away from there. Oh my gosh, it's just like so horrible. Everything about it is horrible. And where do they go to the bathroom?
Well, it's just a day thing, so I mean, maybe there's, I don't know,
Oh
maybe
my
a
god!
diaper
Oh,
type
was it
thing.
supposed to be a one-day thing?
Yeah, yeah.
When were they
Oh.
supposed to come back?
I'm not sure, but it wasn't like extended time down there.
Let me see. I just
Yeah, signed waivers. I'm sure sun-kissed, of course, yeah.
But I'll bet you the waivers
But you know, these people
would be
are
disputable in court.
multimillionaires. They've probably done everything in the world, and this was probably one of the last things that they thought, oh man, we're gonna do this. Let's do
It turned out to be
this.
the last thing. And what a way to go.
Yeah.
You
They're
suffer
probably like,
from-
hey, if it's the last thing, it's meant to be, whatever. I mean, who knows? They have a bathroom sun-kissed,
People-
really?
They have to have something.
Wow, really? Because I just thought they would all be sitting in the same spot the whole time. But what do I
I
know?
saw photos of the inside of it. I didn't see any bathroom.
Well, let's face it, if you're down there and you're
Carolyn,
done-
look at photos on the inside of
I'm
that
going
thing.
to try. All right, let's see.
I have nightmares.
You won't believe it.
Okay,
They're
how
all
many
just
times has the
talking
Ocean
about-
Gate gone to the Titanic? Ocean Gate has only made 2 previous expeditions to the Titanic site. Once in 2021 and once in 2022.
Is that same place? Same company?
Yes, it always expects new challenges with each trip. Now it says Ocean Gate was warned of possible catastrophic problems.
Mm. Concerning the design,
Hold on, I've got to log into my thing here. Hang
I mean, if I wasn't claustrophobic and everything and I was super rich, I probably would have.
Oh, stop.
not me. Mm-mm.
No, I know I wouldn't have. Like, no freaking way. Ain't no way.
It's bad enough
Yeah,
flying
look at this.
over the ocean to get to Europe than to be way down.
But they've been to Europe and they've been everywhere.
Yeah,
Brian.
well,
I'm
good.
just saying from my point of view, it's bad enough to have to fly over the ocean to get to Europe.
See, like,
And
there's
planes
something that
don't
comes, sometimes
run
when people
straight
get an
across.
incredible amount of money, they get really stupid and reckless.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I haven't done anything, especially like guys, right? I think I want
Yeah.
to go do that. But there are women on this thing, right? Aren't there? There are women on
No.
this thing? They're all men.
No. I think all men.
Hold my beer.
Oh, man.
Hold my
Well, you're
beer. I'm going to go
both
down in this.
unfortunate
I'm gonna go
fully
down in this
developed
thing.
till you're about 25.
Sorry.
That's why so many die below the age of 25. They take ridiculous risks.
Yeah, I hold my beer. I'm going to go down in this submersible.
Exactly.
Hold my.
One man is with
Yeah,
his
I'm going to
son.
go down in this. Oh, it's going to cost you $300,000? Yeah, and you might have catastrophic problems? Yeah, and so you might die down there in that tin can? Yeah, all right.
For
I'm
real.
I'm sorry. Some people just really, I mean, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, obviously they're risk
you know, and
takers
they're
and
probably the kind that say something like this. They say, don't worry if anything happens to me. Just know and be happy that I die doing something I love.
yeah,
But, you know,
yeah.
I love the people that say that, okay? Because they say that and it all sounds great when you're going to go, you know, whatever. But if you're dying a long, agonizing death in a close, you know, in this closed quarters, and you know this, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm so happy because we're dying doing something we love, because you're not then. You're like freaking out. You can't believe it happened. When the reality sets in, it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
You're not
Yes,
like hip, hip,
exactly.
hooray. Hey, we're going doing something we love, because you're not.
That to go down below the water. Look at this, which looks like any other below
Yeah.
the ocean.
And then you're like, well, what do you mean we're not getting up? What do you mean? What happened?
And Carolyn, wasn't he in a spaceship orbiting the Earth before? Did I hear that
One of
right?
them. Yeah.
The owner of the place, I think, orbiting from the North to the South Pole.
I've always said some people have more money than brains.
It's
You're
crazy.
right. You're right.
No, it's just like they got to be like, they got to one up everybody. Well, he went over there, so I've got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And this will really help my company if I go down on this mission again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at all the memorials as you go up Mount Everest. Thanks, no thanks.
Right, Sunkissed. And well, look at that 98-year-old grandma or whatever it is. They just had her. I was just reading an article on her yesterday or the day before. What was she doing?
What 98-year-old grandma?
She's real adventurous and doing all these crazy things.
Oh, that's not the one that's traveling the world with her grandson and taking pictures everywhere. Remember we saw that? Oh, I was reading that funny
Yes.
story. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this lady, her husband has died. Her 3 sons have died. So she's outlived all of them. And she has been doing nothing but going on these humongous adventures. The next thing she's doing is going to see every mountaintop in the world.
That sounds like my aunt. That would be my aunt. She's 97.
Hmm.
You sure it wasn't my aunt? 'Cause it really sounds like her. Serious. Except that her son is alive. And she only had one. But it sounds a heck of a lot like my aunt.
This thing says it has a bathroom about the size of one that's on like a plane.
Oh, that sounds
Ah,
crazy.
yeah, okay.
What, Deborah?
I don't see
Good
how.
bathroom.
Hold on, I'm trying
I
to
do
get my
not-
login
yeah.
information here because oh, here it is. Hold on. No, that's that one.
Yeah, Barb says the Titan is sealed from the outside by 17 bolts.
17 bolts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. they've been using sonar, drones, and whatever they can. So far, nothing. They can't find anything.
Okay.
Oh,
so
Rob
someone-
made the top 10, she said.
Yeah.
Congrats, Rob.
Let me see if this is the. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, now I've got it. Hold on, I've got to put this back in. Copy. All right, log in.
You've got me in the mood to laugh now. But I don't want to wake Isaiah up. He's got to get up in like another hour or another hour and a half.
Oh. Let's see if it's this one.
It's hard to breathe just thinking about that, though, isn't
I
it,
know, I
guys?
can't, and I know, like, how you like freak out. And like,
Yes.
okay, here, I've got this stuff now. Let's see. Ocean Gate was warned of potential for catastrophic problems with the Titanic mission. The experts inside and outside the company warned of potential dangers. They urged the company to undergo a certification process. Years before the Ocean Gate submersible craft went missing in the Atlantic with 5 people on board, the company faced several warnings as it prepared for its hallmark mission of taking wealthy passengers to tour the Titanic's wreckage. January of 2018, the company's engineering team was about to hand over the craft named Titan to a new crew who would be responsible for ensuring the safety of the future passengers. But experts inside and outside the company were beginning to sound alarms. Ocean Gate's director of marine operations, David Lockridge, started working on a report around that time, according to court documents, ultimately producing a scathing document in which he said the craft needed more testing and stressed the potential dangers to passengers of the Titan as the submersible reached extreme depths. 2 months later, Ocean Gate faced similar dire calls from more than 36 people. Industry leaders, deep sea explorers, oceanographers, who warned in a letter to its chief executive, Stockton Rush, that the company's experimental approach and its decision to forego a traditional assessment could lead to potentially catastrophic problems with the Titanic expedition.
Carolyn, I emailed you a photo of the inside of it with some people in it so you can get an idea.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, we saw the
it's-
people in it.
The real little inside.
The one that they were sitting in the seats.
Well, I don't know. I just saw one. I just sent
Okay.
it.
All right. It's kind of like the boat on the back of a trailer. The Titan is loaded onto a Canadian ship and then dropped into the North Atlantic near the Titanic. He says it does not need to register with a country flag or follow rules that apply to many other vessels. It's kind of like a boat on the back of a trailer. The police will ensure the trailer meets the requirements to be on the road, but they really won't do a boat inspection.
Wow.
Let's see. In February, a couple in Florida sued Mr. Rush, saying that the company refused to refund them $105,000 that they each paid to visit the Titanic on Titan in 2018. The trip was postponed several times, according to the suit, in part because the company said it needed to run more tests on the Titan. The couple claimed that Mr. Rush reneged on his promise of giving them a refund and that the company instead demanded they participate in a July 2021 voyage to the wreckage. The lawsuit is pending and Mr. Rush has not responded to it. Court records do not list a lawyer representing him in that case. Let's see.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, Scooter, you and I both at the same time. Wow.
Here's Canadian. Titan by the numbers. 22 feet long. It says it's 22 feet long. Let me see here. Titan. Undated photographs of the ocean. Okay. So here's a photo of it in the water.
Oh, but my point was telling you about that old lady, well, mature lady, 98 or whatever she is, was she said, just take the risk. She's like, don't worry about it, take the risk.
Oh, okay.
If you're not taking risks and you're too afraid to do something and you stay home instead of like going somewhere and doing this risky behavior, she's like, then you're just home for a week. She's like, so.
Yeah, and you're alive, lady. Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot for that. Okay.
I think that made a lot of sense.
Okay. The capacity is for 1 pilot and 4 crew members. The maximum depth they could go is 13,123 feet. Now, that doesn't make sense because 3 miles is more than that.
Yeah. They said the Titanic's 3 miles
How
down.
does that make any sense? Okay. 22 feet long, 9.2 feet wide, 8.3 feet high. It weighs 21,000 pounds. It's made of carbon fiber and titanium. Its speed, 3 knots, which is about 3.45 miles per hour with a propulsion by 4 electric thrusters. Life support for 96 hours for 5 people. The board is you're a long way from help, says a former Navy pilot. Is that who you were listening to, Jeff Eggers? A former Navy commander who spent 4 years piloting military mini submarines?
No.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, okay. So
he might have. It was 3
he says you're a
people.
long way from anything that can give you help.
That's probably, yes, I think I did hear from
You're
him.
incredibly reliant on the integrity of the vessel, and you're dependent on the resources you've built into that craft. In an interview on Tuesday, Mr. Eggers, who retired from the military in 2013 after 2 decades of service and served as Special Assistant for National Security Affairs in the Obama administration, said the public tended to underappreciate the perils inherent in... What was that? What is that? Is someone...
That's not me. I think it's Deb, isn't it?
Not me, because I'm muted.
I'm on mute. I'm muted.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
I
wasn't-
think that somebody is having a problem. I hope they're all right. Let's see. Excursions like the one undertaken by Titan, which went missing on Sunday, en route to the ruins of the Titanic. Among other things, he said the civilian-operated submersible appeared to lack significant safeguards that the Navy requires, including an escape hatch, so that even if the Titanic managed to surface, its occupants would be unable to exit the craft on their own. Other risks are constant concern in submersibles, including potential malfunctions with the ballast systems, failures in the vessel's inner pressure hull, which is shaped like a hot dog and can crack catastrophically under the extreme weight of the ocean, and electrical fires and failures which tend to knock out the ability to communicate and maneuver. And then leaders in the submersible craft industry have long warned that the Titan design posed potential serious problems. The conditions at those depths are unforgiving, Eggers said. It's like operating a small spacecraft.
That's something.
Ugh. Yeah, and they're doing this like it's, an amusement park ride or something.
Yeah, I know. Here's ones with somebody inside of it. Somebody's having it sounds like they're having a dental procedure or something. It does. It sounds like a dental procedure.
I'm on mute. It's not me.
Not me.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Can you guys see a green box lighting up?
I have it on YouTube.
It
so
has to be L.
Could be, probably is.
Is anyone able to mute Sharon? Can you mute her?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so this is Stockton Rush on the left, the chief executive of Ocean Gate Expeditions in one of the company's submersibles, and that's about 3 miles off the coast of Fort Lauderdale, and that's in 2013, that picture. And he just looks like a guy like, I've got so much money. What do I do? I think I'll go down here. And say that guy. He just looks like that. Like, I've got an incredible amount of money. I don't know what to do with it. This looks like a good idea, so I can spend some of my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I've got a better idea. You can sponsor us with a beach house for.
He buys the house.
Oh my gosh.
You take good care
Well,
of it.
let's face it, some people that don't even have 2 nickels to rub together make really stupid choices too.
Yeah,
So it doesn't mean just because you're rich.
I know. But he just looks like the kind of guy that just wakes up and is incredibly bored and is like, well, I've done that. I've done the African safari 6 times. I've done, oh gosh, I have been to Belize and Turks and Caicos. If I go there again, I'm just going to kick it. I can't take it anymore.
I've been around the
so
world.
bored. Oh my gosh. And they're telling me, go to Japan again. Come on. That's the kind of guy he looks like. I'm sorry. But that's really what he looks like. Okay.
It looks like he's already trying to figure out what his next
Thing is like, okay, is this all there is? That's exactly what it looks like. Is that all there is to this? Wow, this was very anticlimactic.
My friend. We were singing that song the other day, remember?
Yeah, it just looks like ridiculous. Oh, we got to do our word game. Okay, well, do our word game while you guys can and somebody that might be good. While I'm doing the word game, somebody can talk about this. That way, people won't be so ready to hurt themselves.
They like the word game, don't they?
They do, but they want me to listen to them.
Oh, I can read you the chat.
No, I don't want to. But you can talk to them
I wouldn't tell
about
you the words. I won't tell you the words.
Oh yeah, but you can talk to them about the submarine.
No.
I don't know what else to say.
Because I can't control myself.
Oh.
Yeah, Sharon. Yeah.
Words make me crazy.
I know, that's what I'm saying, Sharon. You
Yeah.
better mute.
I'm muting.
Okay.
You make me laugh. I'll see you in the chat putting all these words and then cracking up.
I know I offered people to join me on the garage floor after I start the car. I had a couple of people take me up to say, yeah, okay. That's a good idea. What a great idea. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
You see that?
Oh, nice, Sharon.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now, I've made a quilt in this design, but this is a log cabin quilt, like the pink one I made.
I want to see. Let me see.
But look at how it's laid out and look at how the colors are.
Ooh, that is beautiful, Sharon.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'll show you the one I made that looks like it, but it's in different fabric, obviously.
And I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. Where's this part? There.
I love your hair.
Thank you. Why isn't this going to me? I put the thing over it, the Michigan thing, but I made that one. that's the same pattern, only it's
Oh,
made of
Oh,
wheels.
nice.
gorgeous.
And the sides are braided. It's really hard to see because of the way it's set there. But yeah, I made that. All I knew how to make was this bit right here. And I sat around and figured it out and figured it out and figured it out until I got it. And then after I made it, then I found a pattern for it. How crazy is that? I made that without a pattern, other than what I made for myself. Yeah.
That is, Sharon.
Yeah. That's living in not New Hampshire, it's living in Rhode Island. I gave it to my friend.
You do beautiful work.
I put Minky on this one. Almost, if I drank, it would have been during this quote right here. I mean, doing the sewing itself wasn't that bad. It was the Minky. Minky is evil. Evil, I say.
This daily puzzle is really small today. Why is it so small?
Is this, are you, oh, it is, isn't it?
It's usually a big puzzle. Is it ever small, Sharon?
Yeah,
Why?
I've never seen it small.
here it is. Look, this is it without the.
Wait, I gotta get back on here to see you. Hold on. Yeah, that's the same one, right? Without the Michigan thing?
Without the stuff on it, yeah. See how
Yeah.
it's braided? I made the braids around the outside.
Oh, wow.
I like doing that.
That's some talent.
It was fun. This was fun to make. I liked it. And then I put these darker blue just to make it look a little more interesting than just have it all the same. And then I brought it and used it in the edges. Anyway, that's one of my favorite ones that I made. It's like kids, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your favorite kid is the one who probably, right at the moment, needs the love the most, but might deserve it the least, you know?
Right, exactly. Yes.
The way they're behaving.
It is.
Mm-hmm. That's who it went to. That's my friend it went to. That's me and her. And she's a Debbie too.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Did you see the
Lots of
picture of the two of us? Yeah.
I didn't see, did you just show another picture?
I showed a picture of Debbie and I, who it went to.
Oh,
And she cute. I love Debbie so much.
yes.
And my hair, oddly enough, is almost exactly like it is right now. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another one. How did I end up like this? Look, that's
Wait,
with my
let me
bestie.
get there. Hold on. Let me get over there. Nice.
That's with my bestie.
You just a picture of you and me?
I'm sorry, that would be Mike.
Oh, okay.
This is me with even shorter hair. I'll show you. You see?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nice, Sharon.
I know. I like my Mike.
Very nice.
Such a sweet baby. Here's a picture of me dressed in my finest.
Karen.
You recognize me, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes. That was my avatar.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's from 2010. Oh my gosh. That was my other avatar right here.
Oh, how cute.
Those are the ones I used. Wow. But 1999 is when I started
Ow.
doing it. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
This is when George Clooney did the movie in our airport. That was the view from my so-called office.
Wait, let me see. Really?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. That's 747s. I was looking at 747s all day long. Cool. But
Wow.
George Clooney and I are like besties.
Thyroid.
Just
It's
kidding.
thyroid.
That was pretty long ago, though. It's 2010.
It's thyroid. Got it. I got it.
Oh, want to see my Berman? Want to see my Diana?
One more.
Carolyn's like, you know, you exist.
Pretty.
How pretty.
Little Diana. Wasn't she
Was that your
adorable?
cat, Sharon?
One
Yeah, that
more.
was one of my kitties. This was Princess Diana.
Hi.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It was a Berman. You can see they've got the white toes. And her
Wow.
fur was as long as my index finger. I called her a scrap of a cat. There was nothing underneath that fur. Just a little tiny cat.
Aw.
And their fur doesn't tangle, and it's like silk.
Oh,
I highly recommend the Berman. And their eyes are a blue, that it's so blue that it's purple around their irises.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Gorgeous cats.
Sound like it. Well, I mean, that one really is.
She's gorgeous. This is not a good picture of her, but this was my Anastasia. She was one of my Maine Coons. She'd sit on the stairs and she'd put her paws on the steps below her. She was huge. Huge. She was the entire length of a step.
Yeah,
The
those
width
are
of
usually big, huh?
Mm-hmm. She was a big girl. Gorgeous. This was Gabby Cat. Gabriella.
That yours too?
Yes, that was Gabby.
Beautiful.
Pretty girl. Gabby. This was my Sophia, my precious, precious Sophia.
Oh,
Gorgeous. Long hair. All of my cats were long haired cats. Adored them. Now I have no cats. I don't know how I'm living.
we have another air quality alert here.
No.
Yeah, by me, yeah. It's
About
right
the fire.
here.
About the fires.
Oh, no,
Oh.
I don't know what ours is from. Probably from the mills around here, don't you think?
I don't know.
You read what that says?
I got it on my own, guys. I got the whole thing on my own. It's a dangerous word game. I did
Can you
it
see
all
what
on my
that says,
own.
Carolyn?
I see
What does
that.
that
That's so
say?
cute. I'm not self-medicating with fabric. The lady at the store wrote me a prescription. Well, she called it a receipt. Same thing. It's
There you go.
cute.
I know. These are kitty sleeping mats I make. Sometimes I give them to the shelters.
Mhm.
They're all quilted. But yeah, and they sleep on them. They curl up and sleep on them.
Yeah, I bet they love that.
Piano. Yeah, yeah. And I've made a lot of them. They're only about 18 to 20 inches square. So it's like making little miniature quilts. Oh, here's a quilt I made. I don't think I ever showed you this one.
Oh, I like that.
That's got
It's so 3D looking, isn't it?
piano keys in the border. I don't know, can you see the
Got
piano keys? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm making another one like this right now. Only in different colors, obviously. Oh, I could put a border, couldn't I?
Since you're showing quilt pictures, I think I took a picture of one of them, one of my moms, to show you actually.
Oh
I think I
boy.
did. She has several of them. I let's see.
My human
Trying to
is
stop this to show you.
Isn't it?
Hold on.
That's not happy. Show you a picture of my favorite slot machine only because it makes sense. Can you see it? It's called Miss Kitty. See all the cats? And when you're in the bonus round, they all blink and meow at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I won like 2 something or another on it.
That's one of the games you play online.
How was girth not?
No,
there?
it's
That's
one of the ones I
wrong.
play
That's
in
wrong.
Vegas.
Oh, but birth has to be
Oh.
there, right? Yay!
What, Carolyn?
Nothing. I'm just talking about the word game. Yay!
Yay!
Hi,
Yay.
Marianne. I did it, Marianne,
Okay,
on my own.
this is kind of blurry, Sharon, because I just stopped it because was taking a video a couple
Sure.
weeks ago, and this is one of them that my mom made. Can you see it at all, or wait?
Yes.
Maybe I can brighten it.
We can see it, but kind of not hold it still.
Yeah, you gotta hold it stiller. Still excited.
Oh, nice.
We're still, wait.
That's just part of it, you know. It's on my
Yeah.
daughter's
Oh,
bed,
yeah.
on Nikki's bed.
That's cool. Yeah, I know that pattern.
You do?
I do know that pattern. I forget what it's called. You'd have to take a picture of it for me.
Okay.
I know that
Yeah,
pattern.
I will.
Mhm.
And she's made other ones too.
I mean, I don't know it as in I've made it. I know it as in I've seen it.
Right.
I didn't know your mom was a quilter.
Oh yeah. I told you guys my mom was a crafter. She loved her crafts and quilting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's more of the same one, Sharon.
Yep, I know that pattern. That's nice. I like it.
And then it's, I think, pure yellow on the other side.
Oh, on the back?
Yeah.
Mhm. I think that's what I'm putting on the back of the quilt I'm working on right now. I'm going to put yellow. It's going to be,
Are you?
I think it's Tommy Hilfiger, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a yellow and white.
I got
Alright.
fusion, Deidre. I got fusion. Unison. No.
Sharon, after the live, remind me to ask you about some quilt info, okay?
Sure.
Try to remember. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't want to say it on here, okay?
Okay. Here. Who could turn this down?
I'll have that.
George Clooney. My response, how could you turn that down? Don't you just want somebody to say that to you? Like him?
It would be nice.
I like George Clooney. He's just as good looking in person as he is on the screen. You'd be surprised how many celebrities don't look so hot live and in person. Especially the one who looks like she's always sniffing onions. What's her name?
Who is that?
She's always got this look on her face.
Are you talking about the lady that's on Shark Tank?
No.
Always looking on me.
Must be quite a few people running around with a look on their face like that.
It'll come to me.
That is funny when some people will have certain expression, well, the way they look, and it's like they always have some kind of an outstanding expression. Like you said, sniffing onions or whatever.
Renee Zellweger.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This
yeah.
look on her face like she's smelling something like onions or something that she doesn't like.
You're right. Yeah.
She doesn't look very good in person at all.
Wow.
Onus?
I wonder if that's why she got so much
Okay.
plastic surgery.
She shouldn't have.
Okay, I took that. Now, what's the other one? I did Onus. What's the other one? Let's see. I got it myself. Yay!
Let's see.
I only needed help with one word.
I don't think I've done this one yet. This one doesn't look familiar. I think you're quite a ways ahead of me.
Yeah, it says coffee. Haven't had enough until you can thread a sewing machine while it's running.
Wait,
It's
let's see.
coffee.
You haven't had enough until you.
I'm glad I don't drink coffee. Oh, I have such cool things here. I love this. Here.
She doesn't even look like herself anymore, does she? I'm 61.
Uh-uh.
Don't even recognize her.
This is the passive aggressive raven. Never mind. You'd have to like Poe, but it's really nevermore. Never mind. Passive aggressive. Well, Debbie, here's your old lady and how she sees things. See this?
Say, one day you will wake up and realize there isn't any more time left to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now. Yeah, yeah. Sounds like her, I guess. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I get what she was saying, but she didn't say that very well to say. And then you would just, if you didn't go that week, if you didn't go, then you'd have a week at home. So just do it, she was saying. But I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, but then you have more time to live. But she's probably one of those that thinks, well, if you're not busy and active every second, you're not really living.
Yeah, but you know, there's only so much.
Night, little lady.
Good night, little lady.
Night, little lady.
Night, little lady.
Little lady.
Ooh, Swiss Miss. Instant cocoa. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
I-61 high.
Hi, 61.
I'm going to see if I can guess people's hair color in chat. Deidre, realtor. You have Deidre, realtor. You're a realtor. Oh wait, is that I can't? Okay,
Yeah,
you
that's
have
Deidre
an
realtor.
avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has an avatar.
She has dark
also.
hair. She could tell.
Yeah,
You
I didn't
can't
want somebody
see.
that I can't see. High 61.
Okay, yeah, I guess for remember when you
High
thought
six.
high 61, you know, you can barely see. You can see his
Never
hair.
seen his picture,
Oh,
but
I've
I'm going to
seen him.
say he's bald.
No, he's
bald.
not bald.
Oh, he's not. Okay. Then he has brown, light brown, dark brown hair, and he combs it over to the side a little bit. That's what I'm seeing. Who else is here? And should I clip this? I just have a feeling that they have like a real long ponytail, like a gray ponytail. Who else? Marianne. Oh, I can see her picture, so that doesn't count. And Diabolical Debbie. She has reddish hair.
We have a diabolical Betty in here. Debbie?
Yes.
Debbie, not Betty.
I don't see
Debbie.
diabolical Debbie.
Yeah, and she says,
Diabolical Debbie.
you
Hi,
are really,
diabolical Debbie. I don't
really
see
a
her.
magical group of people, she said.
Diabolical Betty.
Do you have a
Maybe-
long
Deb-
wave cocktail? Should I clip this?
Betty.
Oh,
Ah.
Uncle Betty. Debbie. Cliftus is laughing at the gray ponytail. So I don't think you're right.
Hi, Eva Paul.
Hi, Eva.
Okay, dyed my hair just recently dark brown, but it turned pitch black. My natural hair color
I
is
did it
brown.
my
I've been thinking about going lighter with highlights or something.
Hmm.
Eva, okay, I can see Eva's picture. Eva has reddish brown or something, I think. Okay, I know I'm going to guess her profession. Eva Powell, you are a professor of history, English professor. Or you really wanted to be one at one time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you had red hair, Mary Ann, but it's gray now. Oh, wow, okay. See, I knew there was a redhead somewhere. I was feeling it. Oh, I love freckles, Mary Ann. I love them.
I've got freckles. Did you notice mine?
Do you, Sharon?
Not on my face so much, a little bit, but my arms. Oh yeah, I'm freckled, big
Yeah, I
time.
was going to say, I don't remember them on your face.
For whatever reason, but I've got freckles all over my arm. Hard to see, or I'd show you.
My granddaughter Amelia had the cutest little freckles all over her face.
Yeah.
Brownish, light brown. And so I just love them. Cat Stealer? Can you answer my question, please? What is your question? Is it a nice question? I hope. That
Cat
name, though,
stealer.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
cat stealer. It sounds like it.
I don't think it's going to be nice.
I restored this thing. It was absolutely,
Gluten.
Covered.
I saw you
So
rototilicaf. I mean,
you
clippers.
couldn't know what
Sorry.
it was or anything. It didn't work. It was the entire insides were frozen. They wouldn't move. Look what I found underneath all the crud and junk. Isn't that pretty? You
Wait, let me
it?
see, Sharon. What is?
Oh, lunge. Lunge. How about lunge? Yeah, I got that on my own. Did it good. Okay.
Oh, wow, Sharon, that's neat.
You couldn't tell what it was when I got it. I got it for free.
I don't know what it is.
It's a treadle sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
Look at the decals. Look how beautiful they are. And they were just under like 50 years of crud where it sat in
Oh my
garage.
God.
Yeah, and the insides were completely rusted where they didn't work at all. And I got it all freed up and I got it working.
You love your sewing, don't you?
I was proud of myself. I do.
What about a loot?
Okay, Cat Steeler said they have a nice question. Okay, and Eva is an office manager, and what does she say? I do have, what? You have red brown hair. Okay, wait, I saw your picture though. Oh, Cat Stealer, do you really steal cats though? Because we have a big cat lover up here, if you didn't notice. She's a
Look who this is.
major cat lover.
Look who that is and look, whoops. Yeah. Look who that is. And look who her bestie is. It's Minerva.
Oh,
She always slept with her. Normally she slept curled around her. That was Gabby, and that was Gabby's chicken, Minerva. Minerva came on the trip. She's come twice now on holiday with us. Yeah.
I don't steal cats, but Pigland does. I don't know who that is. We have 2 cats at the house.
2 cats in
Says
the
hi,
yard.
61.
Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy because of you.
Sarah holding on to her Minerva.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
That is sweet.
That was my Gabby cat. Gabby had about 200 and some friends on Facebook. Ooh, look at this. Look at this, Carolyn.
What? I can't see.
It's my featherweight.
Oh.
Isn't it the cutest?
Sharp. That is sharp looking.
Just the cutest little thing ever. Oh, look, there's a toothbrush in front of it, just so you can get an idea of its size.
Oh, wow.
They're real little, but
Yeah.
they're just as good as any big machine. I only have one. I love her.
Well, we're glad we hope you like it here, Cat Stealer. Like having new people come in, and you're very welcome.
Ooh, this is another one. I'm showing you all this stuff. Look, there's another one of my machines.
Sharon's doing show and tell tonight. Wow, how many do you have, Sharon?
Some. Maybe, I don't know, 17.
Or 4, 5.
17. Another one.
You've always loved sewing, haven't you?
Yep, always.
Wow, that's nice. I like that white one.
Yeah, looks like a saddle shoe, doesn't it?
Okay, I did loot.
There's pennies on it, but it's
What question? We can't see a question, Cat Stealer. Do you understand
what is
that?
your
You
question?
must be using a blocked word.
Yeah, why don't you just answer? We don't see your question, or we would.
Okay, Cat Stealer. But you can email. You can email me. Go ahead.
Carolyn at truecrimechat.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you are using a blocked word.
Because we can't
301.
see anything you're saying.
And I'm scrolling up, and all I see is, can you answer my question?
This looks like a locomotive. It's my 301.
Oh, wow.
They're rare. They're rare in black. And then
That
I
is
also
yours? That's
That's
yours?
mine.
All these are
That's
yours?
mine. Yeah. They're all mine.
No, who? MRB? Is she MRB, the woman speaking to you? No, I'm MRB. I'm the notorious MRB. Okay? Let's get it straight. I'm the notorious MRB. No, I am the notorious MRB.
It stands for Mommy Ramblings Blog.
No, you have it wrong. It's MRB. MRB. Mommy Ramblings Blog. And it's notorious in front of it.
Yeah, MRB, like she said, Mommy Ramblings Blog.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Ooh, this is a nice one. This is me right after neck surgery.
Oh, wow, Sharon. That's when that mirror fell on you, isn't it? Or wait, no.
Yeah. That was the first one they did. And they gave me, somebody gave me, a friend sent me these balloons. But I was so doped up
Uh-huh.
that I thought that there were monsters coming out of the balloons.
Oh,
And I
really?
What are you trying to put in there, cat stealer?
And Mike put them on the other
MRB's
side of
not
the bed. I
blocked.
said, no, you have to hide them. Get
MRB
rid
is
of
not
them.
blocked. You're just spelling it wrong. It's MRB. Take
So
your
he
time.
had to hide those balloons, or Sharon?
Yeah. Oh, here's one. Look at this. Those are my parents. Wait. Those are my parents.
Oh, wow. You look a lot like your mom. Your dad is so handsome. Well, they're both good looking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Handsome couple.
Mm-hmm.
that's my mom, and that was her birthday yesterday. So,
Let's
Aw.
wait, hold on. I want to see Carolyn.
okay.
Are you going to show it on the
Yeah,
channel?
yeah, it's on the, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I see you but you know what? I really see Allie right there.
Really?
Me too.
Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's,
Even more than you, Carolyn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Allie looked just like you. But no, it's your mother.
that's my mom and my
Yeah.
dad. Right there.
Definitely.
Was she short like Allie is?
Well, she was like 5'5".
Oh.
That's my mom and my
Okay.
dad.
Oh, wow. Is that your dad there?
My mom and my dad, yeah.
I wish you could zoom in more on your dad. See, him up closer. But he looks like a handsome man. Oh my gosh. Wow, how neat.
Yeah. Really neat.
Here's something back in the day. Look at them. They're kissing.
I'm kind of seeing Ray and your dad. How about you?
Ray there, and then at times he looks like Michael. I can show you some that he looks like Michael in. It's very.
Oh, he looks like Ray right there. Ray
In that
looks
one
like,
picture, yeah. I just saw that.
yes, definitely. That's your mom? Well, yeah, I hope, because they're awful chummy. They're
Yeah.
awful chummy.
They're kissing.
No, the one with the flowers. Oh, wow. Oh, how romantic. Now, where is this?
It's probably in New York.
Oh, wow. So it's not in
You
Italy.
know, my
or
mom
something.
went to college because my mom is like a narcissist, according to J-May.
Jeez.
I could see you a little bit in your father also.
There's my mother eating apple. My mother always had fruit. She was probably doing like something hysterical.
She's not coming up yet on the screen.
Oh,
I love
Yeah.
old photos too, High 61. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. They both look so like such nice people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that apple one for some reason.
Yeah.
It's really
'Cause
different.
my mother always had fruit. She always had fruit with her, too.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. Always. See, that's where I eat all the apples from, because she always had to have two.
Did your dad have a 6-pack right there?
Where? In which one?
That one sitting on the beach right there.
I don't know.
It
There
looked
was
like he
one
had a
where he really
6-pack.
had Michael. I don't know.
Hi, Puddin'.
Hi, Puddin'. Haven't seen you in a
Said
long
your-
time.
She said, your mom is so beautiful, just like you, Carolyn.
Oh, thanks, Puddin'.
Deidre said your dad is handsome. High 61 said she was a dish. How cute.
A dish.
I'm trying to think. I have some.
I love her bathing suit. My mom wore one very similar, said Deidre.
How cute.
Yeah, Deidre said your dad was a handsome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice hair. They both had really nice hair.
Nice
There's
and
my
thick.
father, older.
Oh, nice. Very handsome.
Wait, let me see, Sharon. Hold on. Oh, wow.
Oh, here we go.
Very handsome man.
Let's see.
He really was.
Knock on wood, I'm still lucky enough to have my dad.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
are.
amazing.
And we were together on Father's Day. We had barbecued baby back ribs. Oh my gosh, they were wonderful. Corn on the cob. Potatoes that had different mild peppers in them. Now, is that your parents there when they were getting married?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. Was your dad in the service, High 61 one?
Yep. He was on a minesweeper in World War II, and my mother had my brother, and he didn't see my brother until my brother was 9 months old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where was he at? Where
That
was
was
he?
my brother when he was born, and my father was in the war. He was on a minesweeper.
Where
in the
was he
Navy.
where did he go? I mean, do you know where he went in the war? Where at? Or no?
Oh, he was on a mine. He was on the ship.
Wow.
Oh, just traveling and all
He
right,
was
he was in the Navy. Okay.
I was long before.
Ah,
That's weird. Uh-oh.
When they had my brother. That's my oldest brother.
Uh-oh.
all woke up.
How'd you know?
Hell.
Deidre said yum about your dad, Carolyn. Aw, Puddin'.
What?
He said, I've been here, Carolyn, listening like always. I was upset about the drama from the stalkers and couldn't control myself to be a part of chat. Anyway, I'm here for you always.
Oh, thanks. Thanks,
That's
Puddin'.
sweet, Puddin'.
What'd I miss?
High 61 said he does research on old photos taken around World War II and the Civil War. How cool. It seems like so many of these older photos, they're posing by a car like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think we have some in our family like that. And like this. Oh, is that your
I-
brother?
Those are
I
my
see
mother and my
mine.
brother. And this is when my brother, when my, here, see, it says welcome home, boys.
Oh,
Oh, that's when your dad was going to see him?
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Deidre.
My brother was platinum blonde.
Scooter.
Look at my brother's hair. He was platinum blonde.
Wow.
Good. Yum
Oh.
about.
I love that. Welcome home, boys. Oh, beautiful. Carolyn, Deidre.
What?
Deidre's, she says, no, I said yum about your food juice.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Do you trust her to read the chat, Carolyn?
Yeah, true, high 61. You can tell the year by looking at the fashion, right? Yeah.
Look at the coolest sign we found in Las Vegas.
Okay, let me get over here to see.
Oh, I like
Lift
it.
it up a little bit.
Classic.
Didn't do it, bail bonds.
I said, stop, I've got to get a picture. Didn't do it, bail bonds. I didn't do it. Someone else did it.
Adventures with Beth said her middle son was that blonde.
Yeah, the first two were platinum like that.
With Deidre, that was great.
Yum.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother looks like a real live Cupid doll. My son Ethan looks like a real live Cupid doll when he was a baby. He looked like a Cupid doll. I'm not kidding.
I think you've showed us before, haven't you?
Yeah, let me find his Cupid
Oh,
doll. Yeah, Ethan really looked like a Cupid doll. Let's see.
Now I'm going to think about that, Deidre, every time I see you.
How did she see your food?
No, I was just talking about it.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was listening. Somebody actually was listening to me.
Oh, really?
Obviously, she was.
I guess so.
I'm not used to that, Deidre.
Here.
Deidre says, yum about you. Oh, really, Deidre? Wow. She said her dad looked like Clark Gable back in the day. He was handsome. Yes, we had baby back ribs.
You had baby back ribs tonight?
No, on Father's Day.
Where? You made them?
No, we had them at my daughter's house. She had us over.
oh.
Man, but they were good. They fell off the bone. They were so good, so tender.
Were they cooked on the grill?
Yeah, to finish up on the grill, yes. They were baked for a while and seasoned so good. Staying at the Luxor, High 61. We've stayed there.
High 61 is going to Vegas?
Yeah, in October.
In October, he's going to Vegas?
Yeah.
Why are you going to Vegas? I thought you wanted to go to Gettysburg. Why are you going to Vegas?
Why can't he do both?
I don't know. I don't know why he's going to Vegas.
Well, why not?
There's no Civil War stuff in
People
Vegas.
do. Well, he may not be wanting to go there for that. Oh, he wants to go to see the Titanic exhibit museum. It's going to be there, I guess.
Titanic. Don't you think that's enough trouble?
Really, Ella? Your dad looked just like John Forsythe from Dynasty?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow,
He was so handsome.
that's neat. He was a handsome man too.
Very tall.
They all had nice looking daddies.
Yeah.
My dad's growing a white beard thingy. He looks nice in it, though, I do have to say. Oh,
Kevin unseated Deborah as the top chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this girl.
What happened?
Oh, I was just telling Mittens, oh my goodness, she's coming for her loving. You coming for your loving. Boy, my little Minnie's been sleeping a lot today. Hopefully she's just tired. My baby girl, she better just be tired. Baby. So deaf though, she won't hear me. I don't want to scare her. Yeah, we don't want to scare her. We're going to go down to the cottage.
When?
See, this is when's Tuesday?
Yeah, I don't know. No, today. Yeah, tomorrow's tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah.
It is?
Shite and shite.
Oh.
I need someone
Okay,
to
well, we're
remind
gonna
me.
pay
I
for
have
the
a
week.
freaking appointment at 6:00. You know, every time I have a California appointment, it drives me crazy.
6
The lady's
a.m.?
always like, no. She's always like, oh, it's 3:00 my time. Now it's 6:00 my time. And then today we got it all messed up. Both of us, like, well, I don't know.
Okay,
Such a
what time is it, Carolyn?
I have an appointment at 6:00 my time, 3:00 your time, Al.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got it.
Okay. Thank you.
We remind me of July 20th. 2:00.
Yeah, and I also have a 3:30 on Thursday. And I
Okay.
have a 3:00 on Friday.
Okay, don't do that.
So I have a 3:00. I have a
Let's-
6:00 on tomorrow. Then I have a 3:30 on Thursday and a 3:00 on Friday.
Okay, we'll stick with tomorrow and then we'll figure out the rest.
All right.
Okay.
When I get another appointment, I'll let you know that one too.
You're gonna have to
Okay.
get a big calendar, Elle.
Okay.
See if you can get an app or something.
Okay.
You're just going for a couple of days to get away. Are you flying? Are you flying there?
This is I-61.
Are you flying? Are you flying? I-61. I-61. How are you today, sir?
Very well, I thank you.
Run away.
Okay.
Run away.
Right.
Oh, what's happening? Rob, Rich has been in and out of the hospital? I knew
Huh?
something was wrong. He wasn't here. And I wrote to him the other day. Rich
Yeah, he said
says
he's been-
he's been in and out of the hospital. His stomach is in a bad way.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
He
my.
said that in chat. He said that in chat
Well, I'm
earlier.
sorry. I was reading. Oh, no, Rob.
Oh,
I mean, Rich.
Rob.
I know. Don't ask me. Oh, no.
Did
Rich.
anyone hear where video reels been? I saw him on.
Oh, and
earlier.
yesterday was Roman's birthday, too. My mother and
How
Roman's
old?
birthday.
3?
Roman is 4. Oh, no, Rich.
Four.
And what?
Oh,
3 or 4?
4.
4.
for
I'm
what?
so sorry. I hope you feel better. Jimmy scared the crap out of me today. He goes like this. Something might be going on with the dogs or something like he goes like this. I'm getting a really funny feeling and I'm going, oh no, is he going to tell me that Lulu's pregnant or something, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? Because that's in my mind. Like he's going to say, I don't know how the freak it happened, but I think she's ready to have puppies. Like I'm just picturing this, okay? Something crazy. But he goes like this. They're running after birds. Like, and I just want to go around and make sure they didn't get a bird or anything. I'm like, gosh, why do you say things like that? He always says things like that. It's going to be like some big, monumental, like crazy thing.
Yeah.
You're the crap out of me.
Oh,
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, we're going to go, guys. Oh, hi, Video Reel. Thank you for coming. Thank you
oh,
for
there's
coming in.
video reel. Oh,
Video Reel's
reel.
in the chat? Because I'm looking
I
at the
thought he was.
They
You
were here
saying-
tonight, but I'm talking to them in the comments.
Oh, gotcha.
And Creepy Little Thing, thanks
I
for
just-
coming by. And Calla, and it's good to see Jane Grill and you guys all in the comments. Susan
Yes.
DeFio, I'd like to see you in the comments. And who's the other one? That
Creepy little thing, really? Haven't seen
I
creepy
know,
little thing.
Creepy Little Thing is there. Creepy Little Thing. And Bert
Creepy
Strong.
little thing.
And there was somebody else I was thinking of recently that we had to give a shout out to.
Hold on.
I forget who it is. Not right now. Ginger Spice, how you doing? Good to see you in the comments. Greg Ellick.
Who was that, Ellen?
Greg Ellick. Bran Yoda. It would be good to see you in the comments. Haven't seen you in a while. And of course, Newfie.
Huh?
No, I haven't seen Newfie.
Are you for real? New
No, I said I would love to see them in the comments. I haven't seen them around, but
Oh no, the birds. I hear the birds.
what about
I
them?
do too.
Yes.
They woke
Oh, I
up
can't
like
believe
to
what
stay
time
up.
it is. Why did you keep us up so late?
5 o'clock.
I don't like
That's
staying
not
up to
right.
the birds.
And Jimmy's got to get up and leave early.
Yeah, I hear a couple of birds starting.
Yeah.
Mine
It's
just,
getting
mine
light.
just woke up when you said the same thing.
All right,
Mine
guys,
woke
we're
up.
going to have to
What,
go.
Sharon?
So,
The
good
birds.
dreams. Keep writing. I will. You betcha. I'm going to get those creative juices
Betcha.
flowing. All right. You betcha. Betcha
Good
there,
dreams, all,
Rich.
or
Betcha
good day.
there. What? What?
Good day or good night. Good night or good day.
Good night,
Whatever.
good day, good afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Thank you. God bless.
Yeah.
Prayers for all that need them. We'll see you tomorrow.
Carolyn, I'm
Bye.
gonna go.
All right.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye, Scooter.
Bye.
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 Love ya.
Love you.
Good night, everybody.
Love you, Debbie.